This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. On my ride, I feel alive, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His palace mob and tonight we get
I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs. The level where funds is tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and bigger and swiftly he shined the mud. That city a pity with 50 took 9 of them slugs. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
What's good? What's good? 25 to Life TV family. What's good, everybody? I know I started a little early. I usually start at about 8:40. I'm a little early today because I'm supposed to have a special guest tonight. So I'm trying to get little bit more on time. Try to start about 8:30. All right, y'all already know we on CP time. All right, what's good, 25 to Life family? I know they'll be coming in a little later because I'm kind of early. So salute, and we on a new day. Shout out to Matt Ober in the building. Shout out to Phyllis Richards out there in the building. Shout out to Mitch. Shout out to Laura Yah. Shout out to Zayala Yah. We got who's that? Kansas City in the building. We got North Carolina in the building. We got Florida in the building. We got the Bronx, New York City in the building. We got Kissimmee, Florida in the building. Well, I always said Florida. We got California in the building, Delaware Yah. We got Tennessee in the building. Shout out to Yah. Shout out to everybody over on Facebook that'll be coming in a little later as well. We getting started. All right. So tonight is a special one. So we got a live story tonight. All right, we got a live one. Shout out to Ahana Yah in the building. We got a live one tonight, guys. We got an interview, all right? And I got some very important news that's coming for the channel as well. So most high willing, we got some big things coming that should be able to help us get through the shadow ban and help the channel grow as well. All right, so now the she said, all right, so let's get this party started. All right, so I got one of my brothers that's supposed to come in a little later on. I'm supposed to do a live interview of him. All right. He's a childhood friend of mine, very, very young. When I was raised by my grandmother, basically abandoned by my parents. They gave me, my mom abandoned me. Then my dad snatched me from my mom, from her people who abandoned me, and he gave me to his mother in Parkside Projects in Hempstead, Strong Island. My mom is from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. My dad is from Hempstead, Strong Island, Parkside. All right, so I was raised by my grandmother, no mom or dad. And one of the first people she let spend the night in my house was my brother. His name was Michael White. And that was my first, y'all know when you're little, sleepover. I remember she was yelling at us because my grandma was mean. She was yelling at us, turn that, quiet all that noise, because doggone well, little kid. I think we had to be like 7, 8 years old, something like that, 7, 8 years old. And we is not trying to go to sleep. We was just, so I remember that. But then after that, somewhere along the line, as kids do, we kind of drifted apart, right? No, we never had no bad blood between one another, but that's what happens in life. You kind of drift apart. So later, when the nation of gods and earths, the 5% nation of gods and earths, came to New York City strong during the 70s and stuff, then our generation, I got knowledge of self at 12 years old. I joined the Nation of Gods and Earths. It was an offshoot of the Nation of Islam. All right, and later I found out that Michael White, my childhood friend, he had become what they call a God body as well. It was a belief system that uh, we that we are gods. We're created in the Most High's image, but we are gods on this earth, not the Most High, but we are part of the Most High, one with in the scripture says, "Do you not know that ye are gods?" So we were God body and physical, and we possess an arm, a leg, another arm, and a head. And as being an offshoot of the Nation of Islam, the Most High, as y'all call him, would have been we considered him Allah. And the physical manifestation of Allah was us. So if you think as Christians or whatever, or as Israelites, if you think that the physical manifestation of the Most High is you are created in his image to be his representation on earth, it's actually the same thing. So with that, we got accountability. We stopped eating swine and the abomination. So I stopped that at 12 years old. That's why that's why I look this age. That's why I look like this. Stop eating swine and the abomination at 12 years old. We started to learn civilization and righteousness because in the 70s and the early 80s, the so-called black people were coming out of Jim Crow and stuff and the what they called the revolution from the 70s with the Black Panthers and stuff. Our hoods were decimated. They sent heroin and alcohol and cocaine and crack into our communities. It was horrible, bro. It was like a ghost field. It was a graveyard. And these Islamic teachings helped to cleanse some of us up. And that's what the Nation of Gods did to me. I didn't have a mom and a dad, and it taught me how to be respectful, righteous, how to live a civilized life, that I am a God on this earth in the representation of the Most High. All right. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know what would have happened to me. It gave me knowledge of myself and understand that I can be more than what the system was telling me I was. And so that's what happened. So I became God body. And I remember later finding out that my childhood friend, he became God body too. His name became Hakeem. His name was Father Hakeem Allah. And my name was Prince Rashawn Monique Y Allah. But that was my shortened version, my long names. Prince Rashawn, Justice Born, Supreme Infinite Great God. That's when we had all these long names back in the day. But anyway, all right, that's just a little introduction. But in our life in the streets and in the hood, there was how can I say? There was things against us that was outside of our power. There was higher powers that had in hand and conditioning the environment that we would be born into, not to take accountability away from the things that we did, but the higher serpent seed powers understood the science of environment affects status of life, environment. So they did an experiment and they called it the project. And they did it with rats. I did that on my study. And they put the rats in this project environment and made them live on top of one another and overpopulated them, condensed them into one area, and to see the results. And the rats who were populating and thriving started to destroy one another, attack one another, eat one another. The other ones started to bully one another. Other ones became less social. The what's the name? The rebirth, I forgot what they call that when you have children. That level decimated by 80%. It started to form bands of gangs of the rats, cliques. They did this experiment over like tens of years. I did it on our ministry channel. For everyone over there on YouTube as well as Facebook, click. I got a link tree that's up. On YouTube, it's in my about section. It's in the description. It's right there. You go to the main channel, you'll see, click the link tree. It got every one of my channels, all of them, everything. So you can find you can find all my channels. Over on Facebook, it's in my description, my about section. You click that link, all of the channels are there. All right. So I need everybody over on Facebook to come over to YouTube. All right. For my New Yorkers. Okay. Y'all want your stories to be shown and blown up. I need y'all over there on YouTube. It's cool to be over on Facebook, but I need that visibility over on YouTube as well. All right. If not, it's okay. All right, right. I'm gonna blow this up regardless. Just got to get through the shadow ban, but I got some things in works right now. So anyway, there was a project system, a system of extermination, and then they built a prison industrial system. So these interlinking entities would be built and created to decimate a group of people, those people who the Bible speaks on, who J. Edgar Hoover, the president of the such and such BI, I don't want to say these, right? The organization, he said, we have to exterminate them lest the Messiah come from their generation, a Messiah, right? So they did everything to exterminate this people, these so-called black people, the descendants of those who came over on slave ships. There was others who didn't come over on slave ships. This ain't about that. But there's a group of people, and that the group of people is written about in the Bible. All right, open Leviticus, open Deuteronomy, go to Deuteronomy 28 and read, and you'll see that lineage right there. All right, so now this experiment that happened with these people, it was based on the criminal justice system. Later, they created private prisons. They privatized the prison industry. It was based on politics. It was based on the judicial. It was based on the economic. It was based on all of the foundations of this society, of this stolen land they used to exterminate. When you put any group of people, this is a true experiment with any species of animal, humans or whatever, the environment determines the outcome of the population of the people. But they want to act like it was our fault. So I was a victim of this experiment. And like in my other video on the ministry, Uncle Yahshua Mashiach Assembly House of Yah Ministries, we just broke down about in the 50s and the 40s, they had the so-called black people had a mom and a dad in the house. They were functional. They were doing well. The system came in and understood we got to remove the dad from the home, break up the family structure. Then they got this feminist movement. We're going to empower the woman over the dad. So now she won't need the dad, won't give them. This was a breakdown of the family unit and the structure of these so-called black people. And there will be descendants of them, the children, okay? And we would be victims of this environment and society that was conditioned against us, whether we knew it or not. So because of it, I had no dad and I had no mom. And I grew up in the project, an actual building called the Projects. All right? This was an experiment. And because of it, this right here was the result. Present, share screen, share.
I've been swimming in this ghetto life.
This is a song I made in 2005, talking about just a history of my life and what happened to us. Me and my boy Jerry Mecca in Harlem. He said, yo, wow, Lex said, yo, wow, I got this beat.
Joey Mecca.
I said, all right, let's go.
Personal to me right here. This shit is the truth. Hip-hop needs some real truth right now. You feel me? I really seriously think hip-hop needs me right now. All these clown rappers, all this make-believe, y'all ride with me. I took 2 text when I'm in irony of the street. Then go beat Lex and tell him why I'm in all this heat. It seems to be a thing that we born within this ghetto. A hot jump shot, a book of rhymes, all this metal. It's a defeatist attitude developed in high school. While those with stable homes look on like they the ones. So brothers be like, fuck it, that's the motto of the hood. Well, y'all apply to college, our projects is where it's wood. I'm living in this trap, only fact I got my gap. Now I'm all strapped up, and little Chuck got it tucked. And we load these, spitting that breeze over weeds. And reload knees, shooting at leaves, toking trees. I violate beer, I drink up on it like it's water. My mind ain't clear, I'm working on it cause my daughter. My life ain't fair, my mama left when I was 1. She's out in Bed-Stuy, I'm on the island in the slums. It ain't my fault, society made me to a thug. In the 90s it's grimy, 2000s is blooded up. And low crip too, it's cause of family that is blue. And no blood red, so many dead that is said. The funeral homes is lost and plenty orphans flipping coffins. While Jug Man Dan is at the orphanage giving orphans. And y'all blame us while Judge Vincent's giving sentence. Out there ain't us, we in the system getting fenced in. And y'all blame us.
I'm swimming in this ghetto life, and I'm living in this ghetto street. System got me living that life, and you pop me when I can't drink. There's gotta be a better way to die. There's gotta be a better way to be. Now I gotta be your friend tonight. Gotta be the one to make you.
Y'all close your eyes and vision drastic being stabbed. Imagine Joe hanging in the back of Linden Ave. Imagine Wild Man up in heaven having a fight. And Shaheem the God is telling court to keep it light. Imagine True Indeed and J Thug is alright. Dressing in all red up in heaven blood tight. News demo and country so much time it ain't hype. And 15-year-old Scully getting 25 to life. This is my life, my cousin Chase is Brooklyn's ace. Be up on gates with 38s in the skates. And all my life my cousin Wise sticking guys. All on the heights with 45s on his sides. It's sorta incredible the way I thought Patton does.
Sorry guys,
It's sorta regrettable
can't give you
the way
the
the
whole
court's battle
song
us.
yet.
So brothers be like, fuck it, that's the motto of the hood. Well, y'all excel in college, our job six is where it's wood. My father, he bailed, my mama left when I was a baby. I turned God body when I was 12, that's what saved me.
My father, he bailed. My mama left when I was a baby. I turned God body when I was 12. That's what saved me. This story, when my boy Lex from Harlem, Lex Luger, he's like, yo, Ra, my uncle Joey Mecca, he got a beat for you, King. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I came, I think I was living in Queens. Came from Queens, went out to Harlem. We went into Joey Mecca's studio. He's like, I got one for you, Luch. That's when our name was Lucci. They call me Luciano. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha because I like to tuck that too. That's the outro of this channel. But anyway, so I came in and he was like, he produced the track. He was like, because I produce a lot of my own music. And he was like, and he put that track on, bam, 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 with all, I was like, yo, it had nothing. It was just the beat. Ding, ding, all the sounds and the get instruments, and he rocking him and his man, and I'm like, oh, goodness, give me a pen. And just the music, all right? And I made the hook. Now I'm living in this ghetto life, and I'm living in these ghetto streets. Y'all close your eyes and vision drastic being stabbed. Imagine Joe hanging in the back of Linden Ave. Shout out to Joe Mays and the whole Mays family. Shout out to Game 7 LL. Imagine Wild Man up in heaven having a fight, and Shaheem the God is telling Court Hen to keep it tight. Imagine True Indeed and J Thug is all right. These are all some of my brothers who died in my streets in Hempstead, Strong Island. All right. So I just started penning. You heard? Just penning. And it was like, but y'all blame us. All right. So I said, my father, he bailed. My mama left when I was a baby. I turned God body when I was 12. That's what saved me.
By age 14, I bought my first whip machine. Trues and dollar bills, my new Impala wheels. And oh my God, I was that beast at making sales. And oh Rashawn, I runs these streets like frickin' jails. I'm from Hempstead, what the fuck, you can't tell? It's down the street from death and round the corner from hell. But y'all can't tell.
Now I'm swimming in this ghetto life, and I'm living in these ghetto streets. The system got me living that life, and you pop me when I can't drink. There's gotta be a better way to lie. There's gotta be a better way to be. Now I gotta be a friend tonight. There's
So when I came through, this track was playing. This right here, I was like, yo, all the melodies in the track. I'm like, my goodness, I'm about to murder this song right here. And that was Ghetto Life, 2005, me and Joey Mecca. So it was describing our reality. You heard? But y'all blame us. While Judge Benson's giving sentences out there ain't this, we in the system getting fenced in, but y'all blame us. See, they blaming us for what the environment and society did. Now, of course, we take the accountability for our own actions, but we are not to take the full blame because there was things that was designed to destroy the so-called black people. So, shout out to Victorious Ron in the building. Shout out to Sister Roberta in the building. All right, guys. So, we're going to get started. What time is it? 8:53? I don't know what's happening. So, what I'm going to do from now on, this is what I'm going to do. Whenever I'm supposed to have a guest that I'm supposed to interview, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to do it this way. I'm going to make sure that I do like I did Unique's video. I do it outside of the live. I do the interview, so I got it recorded on Zoom. And then maybe, how can I do it? Then maybe I'll play the recorded interview on a live and discuss it and rock back and forth that way. Because what I don't want to do is ever put this channel in a position where I'm supposed to have someone go live and then they might have some issues, right? They might not be able to go live. You know what I mean? And now I'm sitting here like got everybody waiting for the interview and then the person wasn't able to make it or something for whatever reason. So I talked to Ha at about, what time was that? 8:17. No, that's when I sent them the link. So I talked to him at about 7:53. So 8 o'clock basically. And I sent them the link at 8:17. So I'm not sure what's going on now. So I'm writing them. I'm like, yo, fam, you coming? And I said, I sent them the link on the messenger. Then I'm like, I'm going to put the link in the YouTube chat. So I'm getting no response now. So it is what it is. Y'all already know. Y'all know how I play. Y'all know I can rock out a show no matter what. So I guess I'm about to go into a story. And what I'll do, I promise y'all that no matter what, I won't do that again. Because, sometimes I guess people can have technical difficulties. They can, might not be able to make it. Something could happen, get in an argument or a fight or, I don't know, anything can happen in life. So when you're going live, that's not something that, but so I won't do that again. I'll make sure if I'm ever doing a live interview or someone that we do it beforehand. I have it taped already beforehand. And then I just present it as a live and I guess do a reaction video to it or something like that. All right. So anyway, I was looking forward to it. Would have been fun. That would have been dope. All right. So let's get started. Now, if he comes in, cool. But if not, it is what it is. Like I said, I won't do that again. Yo, Ha, where you at, man? I mean, we just hit me at 7:53. Where you at, fam? Come on, Hempstead. We looking at that. That's not a good look, guys. It's not a good look for us. We gotta stick to our, we gotta stick to our word. You know how. But again, it gotta be something. So, something had to happen or something. All right. So let's go. All right. Because of it, let me do an off the cuff. An off the cuff. Let me think of an off the cuff. I was just thinking of one. I just wrote myself something too of thinking of one that I had to remember. So, all right, let's go. Yeah, y'all send out prayers and make sure everything is okay with him. Because he was excited. He called me. He was excited about going on. He told me to send a link. His wife was going to get him all set up because she know technology better than him. So I told him I'll be sending y'all a link in about 15 minutes. I was washing up. So I sent it to them. And so Most High willing that we pray for blessings over them and their family, that everything is okay. And if you can, hit me on the messenger or something and let me know that. Shout out to Louis V in the building, Jim Park, Connecticut in the building. Louis V day one. Now, so anyway, let's go in. This is been, I guess, will to be continued. All right, so now let me do this one. Because of the last video I put up, I did one about I put a short clip about my baby mother, the story that I bought her a Mercedes and she stabbed me. That story, I shouted out Louis V in that story too. It's interesting. He just came in. So when I was listening to that last live, premiere video last week, I remembered another story behind that, two more. So which one I'm gonna get? Oh, get into the first one. Let me write it down so I don't forget the second one. Y'all gonna like this. This is crazy. All right. So y'all remember, for those who didn't, go watch the last YouTube video of I bought her a Mercedes and she stabbed me. Okay. I'm gonna find a picture of the Mercedes in a second. All right. So all right. So in that story, I said that when I bought her the Mercedes, this when the X5 truck was brand new. All right. This when the X5 truck was brand new. Now, yeah, when she thought everything was, it was in her name. So that's the thing, Larry, y'all. She didn't think everything was in her name. So, but I had to rebuild myself from that point. So after that point, everything else that I bought, I did in my name. But first I had to establish a name, right? So I started to build my credit, start my credit. And so when I bought all my houses, they were in my name. My clothing store was in my name. My nightclub was in by then. So from that point on, I stopped putting everything in her name. That's when she, when she flipped out on me. It was like, this is all mine. I'm taking everything from you. And I'm like, what do you mean yours? She's like, it's in my name. Yeah, it was until a time limit. Facts. So now, all right. So in that story, remember the X5 truck was brand new, and my ex, and she was like, I like that truck. We was driving, and I had the Navigator, the white Navigator at that time, and everything. And I was the type that are surprised. Like, I like to do good things for people and surprise them and make them feel good, right? So I told her, I'm just giving a little recap for those who didn't watch the story. So I told her, I was like, you know what? You like that? She like, yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I went to research the X5, and it was probably at that time like 50,000 something, 45, 50,000, but it was like brand new, right? And I was like, and at that time, well, I don't buy brand new cars off the lot, because you get a sticker shock. It devalues by about $10,000, depending on. Now, the only cars that don't devalue like that, well, even they do. Yes, they do. Because I was about to say, if you buy like a $200,000 Mercedes or something, they still hit it, but $10,000 won't matter. See, that's the difference. You taking a $10,000 hit if you drive a $250,000 Maybach or $300,000 Maybach off the lot. It don't matter if it depreciates $10,000. It don't matter. But certain cars hold the value, the very, very expensive ones. So a lot of people got caught out with Lamborghinis too. So y'all know the Lamborghini truck, right? I like the yellow one that, what's his name, T.I. and them have. Y'all know the Lamborghini. Those are nice trucks. I really like those trucks, right? Beautiful trucks. But I think they were like $275,000 for the truck, right? The next year and 2 years later, the thing depreciated down to like $100,000. Listen clearly. So you paid $275,000 for this Lamborghini truck. A year and a half later, that same truck is worth $120,000. That's a hit. That's over $100,000. Of lost of value, just gone. You might as well just burn $100,000. That's stupid. So imagine if you waited 2 years and bought the truck. Now you got that $275,000 truck for about $90,000. And now it's going to hold that value. See, it'll hold the $80,000 to $90,000 value for years. Then when you sell it, you could probably get you $80,000, $90,000 something. See, that's the sticker shock. So you don't ever really buy a brand new car, guys. You're going to immediately lose $10,000. And then if it's a very expensive car, you can lose over the next 2 years, 20,000, 30,000 in your value. And you still, now let's say you didn't buy it in cash, you still owe on the car note. That's why people get upside down. They call it upside down in their car note, and it drowns you. You can't get out of it. You owe more than the car is worth. This is the system trying to get you fenced in. By Judge Benson giving sentence out the A&S, we in the fence system getting fenced in, but y'all blame us. That was the song, right? So just a little advice. So I knew that in the streets. So I would, even though I would love to get the brand new joint, I had to curtail my desire for my intelligence. A wise man is slow to react. So you do never buy a car off the lot, brand new. You know, people get their brand new, they be so happy. I got a brand new car. You know what I see? Fools move. That's fool's gold. You're going to lose. You're going to be upside down. That car is not going to be worth. And these regular cars, oh my goodness. 2 years later, y'all know what I'm talking about. You bought the car on the lot for $36,000. 2 years later, you go to try to trade it in. They want to give you what? $12,000. You see? Literally, everybody know. Most people who know, you went to you go to Courtroom, you go to somewhere, try to trade in, go somewhere, try to sell it. They want to give you 12. You be like, I just paid 36,000. You know what they're gonna say? Ain't nobody tell you to pay 30. You was a fool. As soon as you went off the lot, it was only worth 25,000. As soon as you drove out the lot. If you buy a car off the used car lot and drive out the lot and try to turn around and take it back, you think I'm playing? If you got enough money, do it and watch what I'm telling you. You buy the car, drive off the lot, turn around and be like, hey, I want to take it back. They're going to be like, well, we'll give you, let's say if you paid 40,000, they'd be like, well, we'll give you 28,000. You'd be like, what do you mean? This, I just, well, yeah, well. All right. So anyway, now, so that's what I never did. I was smart in the streets, right? Even when I was in the streets and my sin, I still had some type of intelligence. Not enough intelligence to stop doing sin, right? But I was trying. I was learning, all right? Because even at this time, I'm trying to stop selling drugs. This part of the story of my life, I was trying to go legit, right? Trying to do real estate and all of that. And then when my ex told me that all my house, all my cars, because I only had one house at that time, my big house and all my cars, I had 3 cars, 2 trucks and a car, and everything else was in her name, like all of everything, and she was going to take everything. And that woke me up. That, man, I actually, as rich as I was, at that point, I wasn't a millionaire yet, but I was, I was in the hundreds of thousands, you know what I mean? Owned my cars, I had bought my Navigator cash. I think that was like 45, 50,000. I had, we had the big house. The equity was going up crazy because we bought it before the real estate market crash of 2006. I bought that house in 2001. And so anyway, so as we drive, and she wanted the X5, right? So I'm like, okay. So I researched. I'm like, oh, no. I ain't about to buy that. That's going. So I looked at the ML. So they made the X5, the ML Mercedes was comparable to the X5. So they made the ML Mercedes to compete with the X5. So I was like, you know what? The ML has been out for about 3-4 years, right? So I'm like, okay, the ML was nice. So I said, let me show her this. So I showed her the ML, and I was like, what you think about that? And she's like, oh my goodness, I love that car, right? So I'm going somewhere. This is going to be pretty dope. I'm trying to find a picture of the ML. Maybe I put it in hopefully I put it in my history. Oh, I know it's in 3D pics though. Let me just look for 3D pics. 3D pics. Give me a second. I'll find it. I know it got to be in 3D pics. I might have put it in Hempstead history too, but I know it's in 3D pics. And if I go, it should be in screenshots unless I named it at the bottom. So hold on. Let me go to the bottom of screenshots. There we go. Oh, that's Z Black at the bottom. Let me see. No, that's because I pulled it in Hempstead. I mean, I named it. All right. Let's just see. Take a screenshot. The screenshots. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to find, because that'll help out the story. There you go. I found it. Thank you. Thank you, Father. I found it. All right. Thank you, Father. All right. Present. Share screen. Window. Bang. Share. That'll help. So now, this is the actual ML Mercedes, right? So let me make it a little bigger. A little bit smaller. That's when she tried to kick me in my cojones, guys. Y'all remember that story? That story crazy. So this was the ML. Now I hooked this up. It don't look like this when you buy it off the lot. But it's the cute little Mercedes. Now this is 2001, 2002. This is around there. So this was a cute little Mercedes. Now they didn't look like this, but I hooked it up. So this got the wide body flare kit on the wheel well. It got the black step bar, and it got the roof, and that's really it. Then I put the chrome bar in the back, then dipped the whole truck white, hooked up the interior, put the 22s on it. And 22s was big rims back then. So anyway, so I was like, all right, you know what? I showed her the ML, and she was like, oh my goodness, I love that. So then I bought her the ML. Now, this is the story. Now, when I bought her the ML, I went to Queens, and I went to the Hempstead Turnpike. They have some car dealers and stuff up there, going from Elmont, from Long Island to Queens. Long Island and Queens are connected, right? So I went up, and I seen this ML, but it wasn't white. It had gray around the wheel wells and gray bumpers and stuff. It wasn't dipped or white. And I'm like, okay. So when I saw the car, all right, now let me switch positions with this so I could tell the story, all right, correctly. All right. Shout out to Brooklyn Red in the building. All right. So let me what's the name? Switch my position, my setup. My setup is this one. Where is it? It's me big, that small. Oh, that's me big, that gone. It's this one. There we go. Now we're cooking with olive oil. Shout out to Brooklyn Red Flatbush, Brooklyn in the building. Now let me make this smaller again. Well, I don't need to make it smaller because now I'm just rocking out with y'all. All right, let me move over a little because I see I'm cut off. There you go. That's a little better. Oh, but that's right. I'm going to be cut off my arm. Whatever. Who cares? Anyway, so so I bought this ML, right? And I do need, because I need to show. There we go. I bought this ML, and can y'all see my cursor? Yeah, I see it. And it had gray and everything, right? So now when I went to buy the ML, they were selling it, I think it was like 27,000 or 30,000, and I always talk them down because I'm a hustler, right? I'm a haggler. I was a hustler and a haggler. So past tense life, did my time for any crime I committed back then. So I was gonna buy the ML. He said like 30,000, 31. I'm like, pfft. So I talk him down, right? You know, doing my thing. So I got him down to 27,000, right? So then I'm like, but I thought about it. I was gonna buy it cash, right? So, but I thought, you know what? I need to build her credit because I was trying to go, at that point, I wanted to go legitimate, and I wanted to do real estate, and I wanted to, you know, own houses and flip houses and stuff. But I'm like, I need to build her credit. So I was like, okay, this is a perfect opportunity. So I said, matter of fact, if I could finance the truck, right? Put down like $10,000 or something like that, 10, 15,000, finance the rest, and then just for 1 year, just pay the payments. And then after 1 year, just pay the whole thing off. And that would build her credit. See, it's very wise thinking, okay? Because I was used to just buying everything cash, but you don't build credit that way, right? So when I bought my the Navigator and stuff, I just go buy it, you know what I mean? 50,000, 40,000, whatever. But it ain't going in your credit history. Now I'm trying to come out of the game. So I talked to the dude. He like, okay, okay. And we're putting down $10,000. The amount that I'm putting down, it didn't matter. They could just finance whatever. And it didn't matter to me. No interest rate, none of that. Because I could just pay for it now. So I would just pay the little payments and then over 1 year and then just pay it off. And now her credit is established, her credit history and stuff, right? So bang. So we do it. We sit down with him. He's like, how much you? I'm like, yeah, I'll give you, I think I put 10,000, something, 12,000, something like that, right? Something. So we only owe like 11,000. I remember that. So subtract 27,000 from 11,000 from 27,000. That's how much I put down. All right. So, and then, with taxes, it came back up, all the fees and stuff still came back up to about 30,000 or 28,000, 29,000, but whatever. So I remember specifically, it was only owed 11,000, right? So bang. So now I got that, did good. Bought her the Mercedes, bought her the Benz, establishing her credit, everything good, right? They told me I'll hear from the credit people. And back then, I don't know if they do it different now. They sent a payment coupon booklet, right, for you to pay your little. Now I want y'all to let me not give it away. Let me not give away the story. So I I I get her the Benz, and if y'all watch this video on our channel, y'all remember that she crashed the truck, right? I bought her the truck. She went out happy to go to work, and she crashed it by smashing into the side of a garbage truck. She ripped up the whole side. So she ripped up the whole side, brand new. She never got to drive it ever. She came in the house crying. I told her, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm like, all right, you know what? In my head, I'm like, just go to work. She took my little Eclipse, little burgundy Eclipse race car with the big Spider-Man wing. It was fly. So, and so I had the Navigator and the Eclipse at that time, the chrome pearly white Lincoln Navigator with the 23s and the Eclipse at that time. So now I just bought her the ML. So she took that to work, and then I was like, all right, hold on, this Mike calling me now. Let me see what's going on with my brother. Joe, what's good, huh?
I got two phones. I can't get. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I got two right here.
All right, so yo, hi, you just I'm gonna send you the link. All you gotta do is click that link that I sent it to Facebook Messenger.
Oh yeah, turn it down, baby. Turn it down. Okay, I'm in Messenger, baby. I'm right here. That's it.
Now you should see it should be a StreamYard link. You see it?
What I see right now, God, is the camera with a line through it, the microphone, no line.
Hold on. Let me go to the Facebook Messenger. Let me go to your message. Let me see what you say you see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Messenger. All right. Go on the Messenger.
Let me go through this. You know how to do this.
So it's a when you see I sent you a message. It says StreamYard. You don't see it on our Facebook Messenger where you calling me at? It says StreamYard, then it says that's the link, guys. You can try the link whenever you want, and I'll let you backstage. Yeah, just click that link, and it should bring you in.
Okay, just go back with the arrow.
You live too, huh? They can hear you. I just want you to know they can hear you. We live. All right, hold on. Let me put you on. Well, I can't because it'll be quiet for the live. All right, so just click. Or another thing you can do, another way to get in, huh? Do you got my Facebook? I mean this channel on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm watching.
You watching it on YouTube or Facebook?
I got you on Facebook.
Yeah, I could put the link on YouTube too. And
So you want me to go to my TV, turn my house TV on. No, that's not what you're saying.
No. I'm saying just click the link that I sent. Okay, you have to click the link, the StreamYard link, and that'll bring you into the thing from the.
I'm hitting the link. I just see what you said. Okay. It says, you're right. I got the StreamYard,
Uh-huh.
StreamYard.com. Okay.
Yes.
I'm hitting that. Now, I'm hitting the mobile thing now.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Now, do I look in this thing, look for you again, find your name again?
No, once you click that link, it should bring you in. When you click the link, what did it say?
StreamYard.com. And then a list of names that I could send a picture of this link to them, or I could send a picture of anything I want.
No. All right, let me do it again. Let me send you the link again. Because it's an invite. It should be inviting you to join this live. So I'm gonna send that now one more time to your I'm gonna send it again to the that's an invite link. It should be bringing you in. Once you click it, it should be bringing you into the backstage, into this live. All right, so now I'm sending it to you again. Let me go to there we go. It says ongoing call. Now I'm gonna send it to you one more time. Oh man, the StreamYard is in the way.
It's not your fault, it's my fault. I'm not doing something right. It's not her fault, it's my fault. Y'all know what y'all doing. I'm in the middle of messing stuff up.
So let her do it then. Let her
Yes. But she's okay, let me do what she's saying. What she said. Right back.
all right.
Okay. Hold on, here. Hang on, you said, right, baby? Okay. Okay. Wow, we don't need that negative. Just help me, please. Don't.
All right. Let me try to send it to him again, guys. If not, we'll just try to set it up for him next week. I'll finish the story. I was just getting into the story. I'm glad he did that before the story got funky. The story's just about to get funky. All right. So I can't hit. They put the Facebook. Oh, there we go. Move it to the side. There we go. All right. Let me send him the link again. Control V, enter. I think he's hitting StreamYard.com instead of clicking the link. The link is going to take him right into the studio. And let me put it in this chat too. Control V, enter. And then let me try to do this. Let me send it to his, well, that'll go to Messenger if I put it on his Facebook. All right. So anyway, let me I just broke the story. All right. So let me get back. Because we just lost like 20 people that fast. All right. So anyway, I'm probably gonna have to just do him next week. I apologize, and that sucks because I already did the thumbnail and all that. So all right. So now where was I at? I was oh no, that can't be right. They what's the name in? That can't be right because there's more of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they messing with our views already. That can't be right. All right. So anyway, we was at the dealership. So thank you, Laria. So I'm at the dealership, right? So I bought a car and she crashed the car, right? All of that. Then I tell her it's okay. I'm going to fix the car. Bang. Dad, they said we got down to one person on our live. That is a lie from the leg of fire. Dad, that's horrible. So they shadow banning this? What are you shadow banning this for? We ain't messing with nobody. We just, Dad, it got down to one. It said it was one person here on the live. You know that's a lie from the leg of fire. I'm like, how is it one person when it's well, whatever. So anyway, literally it said, well, I wish I could show y'all. It literally said one person is here watching the live. That's it. It's just one of y'all. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. All right, so let me just ignore that. Because at first it was up to almost 30, and then it just kept going down. And I'm like, okay, Dad, we lost 10. I'm thinking it was because, the break in the story. And then it kept going down, and it went down to 7 people. Then it went down to 5 people. Then it went down to 1 person. I'm like, well, what in the world? So anyway, let's go. So I again, let me keep the continuity in the story. She said now it's 3. I know. See, let's keep the continuity in the story. So we so again, I bought the car, financed it, all that's good. So a bill in her credit and everything. She got the car, she crashed it, whatever. So she crashed it. I was like, all right, now I'm gonna dip the car, I'm gonna fix it up, right? So when I give it back to her, now it's gonna be better than it was before. So thus, once I fixed it up, it looked like the one on the screen. But she thought when the dude told me that he was calling me to that the car was fixed, she thought it was a girl, and she ready to attack me and acting all crazy, and she tried to stab me and try to kick me in my cojones when I was naked, and just all this mess. And then ready to call the cops on everything, right? Then she's ready to call the cops and everything. And I'm like, yo, bro, she was just crazy overreacting, right? Just crazy, insane, right? But a spirit was over her. A devil was possessing her. I learned that stuff later to try to take me out and kill me. So that caused me to readjust my thinking and my life. Like, okay. And that's when me and my boy Z, he let me have the room in his apartment in Adams Courts on Parkside Projects, right? And at Parkside, Adams Courts, little buildings. And so I was able to keep the bulk of my weight in his house. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't trust her flipping out on me and then wanting to call the cops when I had so-called kilos in the what's the name, in the closet. I did my time for all the crime committed. So now, once I bought her the car, I told her it's not yours no more, right? So I took it from her. Of course, you trying to stab me and kill me. I'm doing all this stuff. I spent like 10,000 or more on the down payment, and now it cost me about 7,000, a little more, 7 more thousand to hook this up, to put the system, because I hooked it up. I put the wood grain, I put the clarion, I put 15s, I laced it, dipped it all white, put the rims, I just tinted it all and made it look like this. So now she would have had the baddest ML in the whole New York. Oh yeah, this was the baddest ML in New York at this time. This is 2001, 2002, New York City. So I'm like, listen, it ain't yours no more. So I took it back from her, right? And I like, listen, you could keep driving the Eclipse race car. It was nice, whatever. Now I got a white Lincoln Navigator and I got a white ML, right? And this before I bought my white Escalade. So I got the white Lincoln Navigator with the 23s, and I got the white ML right here with the 22s, all white. Even the white Lincoln Navigator was dipped in all white, dipped from the rooter to the tutor. Dip. That's what we used to dip our cars back in the days, right? So I dipped the Navigator like crazy, dipped in all white, and now I got 2. So I'm like, well, now I got a nice little ML, right? So cool. So I'm going on, right? Everything. Now we exchanged in a way because now my life I see everything different. That was the beginning of it being over. She didn't know it, but I couldn't come back from that. Her trying to stab me and ready to call the cops on me and all this stuff over a misunderstanding, over me buying you a Benz, you crashing a Benz, me fixing it, lacing it, giving you rims, hooking it up, and you're trying to kill me. So she didn't know, but that was the beginning and end of our relationship. And we were together since high school. We were together for like 18 years. You know what I mean? But that was it. Some things, guys, you can't come back from, right? There was no coming back from that. Oh, hold on. I think he figured it out. He did. Yeah. All right. Let me let him in. All right. Hakeem, you figured it out. Hold on. Let me stop share.
My life, I'm officially backstage,
He
baby boy.
he figured it out. Yeah,
True
you
indeed.
figured. Hold on. Let me switch the Let me switch the
Miss Flemings would be so proud of us right now.
He said Miss Flemings. That was our elementary school principal.
True
Hold on, huh?
indeed.
Let me switch
And
it
she
so me and you
loves
are
us.
side by side. 25
Oh,
to life. Oh,
this
there we
interview is
go.
not going to be nothing like they think it's going to be. We about to blow their mind.
All
This interview,
right, huh? Hold on. Let me
this
make
interview,
this. How do I make this bigger? Because we kind of small. I want us to be
yeah,
full screen.
this
There we
interview
go.
is about
There
to
we go.
blow. We
Yeah,
about to blow. We
that's
about to blow some minds tonight.
that's
Yeah, it ain't gonna be nothing
I
like
don't
they
know.
think.
Hold on. Let me
Yeah,
think. Let me do it
yeah,
another way. Give me a
nothing
second.
like they think.
Give me a
Nothing like
second.
they
Give me a
think. They
second.
in for a surprise.
All right, hold
Uncle,
on. I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you for 1 second because I'm gonna bring you in. All right. So you muted for 1 second. Huh? Hopefully he can hear us. Let me Hi. Hold on. Let me unmute. You can hear me though. Hi. Right.
actual fact, King.
All right. All right. We rolling. I'm gonna mute you for 1 second and I'm gonna get our setup right and then I'm gonna introduce and we're gonna get rolling. All right. So let me because I don't like the way this look. Because I need where's our band? Oh, that's because I took the banner off for the Z Black thing. All right, let me get our banner back together. For the Z Black story, I took all our banner off. All right, hold on, let me get this set up. Here we go. There we go. That's the 25 to life tales. Now let me get the bottom part. Let's get the setup correct. All right, that's what I took it off for the Z Black story. Dang. All right, there we go. Now that's set up. Now I need us a little bigger because we kind of small. I don't like us being that small. So let me try this one. No, try this one. That's better. There we go. Now we bigger. I like that one better than the huge one. Let's see how that look. Yeah, that's too big. We're gonna go back to this one. Yeah. All right. We rocking out, huh? All right, so now we going. So I'm introducing Father Hakeem Allah, also known as Michael White, childhood best friend. He said Miss Flemings would be proud of us right now. That's our childhood principal for our elementary school. I don't know if she's alive or not. All right, so let me come back to y'all so I can see the comments. All right, you ready? Hi. Now I'm gonna unmute you. Hi. All right, hi. Just only thing I ask, hi, try to not to curse if you can. Try to remember
There'll be
not to
no
curse.
cursing. There'll be no
All right,
cursing.
all right, huh? Let's go.
There'll be no
All right,
cursing. We
so
here to follow rules and regulations.
all right, so Hakeem. All right, here
Yes,
we go. Let me
yes,
go. Let's get started.
yes.
So now, first thing I want to bring out this first. Before we get started, before I start interviewing you, asking you the personal questions for you personally. Uh, on our last study of the brother Z Black, I remember when you was there, you was speaking a couple of things because you had experiences. Do you have any personal stories that happened with you and Z Black? I know you were in prison a lot for from the. Well, we'll get there. I ain't going. That's another question. I'll let you answer that. So, do you have any personal stories with you and the prison dark prison legend, what they call Z Black, Pissy Black?
Right. Yes, I do. And first of all, I like to say, could have been anywhere else in the world, but tonight, I'm here with Uncle Rob, and we're gonna try to enlighten the youth. This is not a gathering to glorify the war stories that may exist, but so that the young. This is not for those that was there through the trials and tribulations. This is for the young to understand that we are not glorifying. We're trying to warn you of what's ahead. Now, as far as Z Black is concerned, Z Black is exactly what he made himself out to be. He was a threat because he himself was harmed, and hurt people. And Z Black had a softer side that a lot of people didn't know about. He could get real deep one on one, and he could be a stand up man one on one. But Z Black was a guy like this. If you tried to impress him, and he would play you all the way out. He would actually have you jumping through hoops. But if you stood your ground as a man in front of him, then he respected you as a man. He only exploited what you allowed him to see. You know what I'm saying? What you allowed, the weaknesses you showed him, he exploited them. That's it. I ain't never been in the county and heard of that man knocking nobody out and violating them, walking up, putting his hands on grown men. That was never his character. You know what I'm saying? Z Black was what you would call, if I had to say, uh, a misunderstood Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? Because he was definitely there for the weak. If you was weak and somebody was taking advantage of you and Z Black was around, you didn't have to worry. Because as soon as he finished trying to bully you, Z gonna bully him. You know what I'm saying? He's going to bully him. Anybody that came around him with a I can't be touched attitude and you was oppressing those that you knew clearly you had a win on, nah, he ain't like that. Yo, let's go, me and you to the back. And there was no turning it down. Because the moment you said like you didn't want to go, he folded you right there. One body shot. But all that about Steve Black, violating people, man, that's all prison myths. You know what I'm saying? People who wasn't there. That night we asked individuals to post their DIN numbers. You know what I'm saying? If you was in the county, throw your CC up. You know what I'm saying? And that'll tell if he was in there the year that he was in there. Because everybody that was there know who was there. So that's why a lot of people didn't jump out there to put their name on nothing. Because for a fact, that man was nothing like everybody made him out to be. During his drug addiction era, yeah, he came on the block and he did what any addict gonna do if somebody got it and they weak. He pressed you, plain and simple. Most gave it up. I'm talking about the nameliest of names. They gave it up. You know what I'm saying? Now, they didn't go home and tell a family member, or they didn't go on a visit and tell the truth. They wasn't telling the truth. A lot of people, you had to pay Z to exist, and it wasn't even like paying. Let's just say this is how you get along with Z. Period. Z like to get high. If you got it, it'll be nice to share. Let's put it like that. It'll be real nice to share. And I already explained the fact that he was more of a protector than an abuser. I'm gonna keep it gully with you. If you was the type that came in and you wasn't no crab with the bag, and you made your little commissary money, you sent your little money home to your girl, and you show love to the block that you in, because everybody didn't have means of moving cash like that. So some people was just in a bad predicament, but they wasn't bad people. You feel me?
Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Ha. Let me. I'm gonna only interrupt you sometimes just to explain because people want to understand the lingo.
Yeah.
When he said when you show, hold on. When he said when you show love to the block you're in, he's talking about the tier, the block of the jail. They're in jail, and he's saying showing love to if you're on this tier. A tier is a floor that you're on, right? Or if you're in a dorm, if you're in wherever you're housed at, he's saying showing love to your housing area in prison or in jail. Go ahead, Ha.
Right. And when I say that, I don't mean it becoming no friendly extortion gig either, because looking out can also lead you down a dark road. Now, remind you, we in prison. Everything's a go. Nobody got to respect nobody hustle. You know what I'm saying? You can be tested and you will be tested. Any man that's ever attempted to do anything in there has been tested. And I haven't won every fight I had in my life. Although it's recorded that I might be undefeated, but I have 3 people in my mind that I could say gave me a run. Now, what the crowd said and how I felt was 2 different things. But, nobody goes through their whole life without meeting somebody that is somebody. You feel me? And most guys pick their battles. They don't go at the real wolves. They pick people that they know they got to up on to impress the real wolves, but then the real wolves flip on them. You want to explain that to the people?
Yes, sir. So I have a saying that says the universal language of life in prison is aggression and violence. Any other thing is not respected and not heard. It's like a misunderstood. If you don't understand aggression and violence, you will be a victim. That's what he was saying when he said, no matter who it is, you're gonna be pressed, no matter what it is, no matter how big you are, how strong you are, how much respect you got in the street, none of it. Aggression and violence is what's waiting for you in there. That's why we're warning the youth. We're trying to warn the youth. We're elders now. So when we gonna get to Mike, he gonna explain his upbringing and his prison his story. But now, so what he was pointing out was he was saying, and I'm glad you're trying to clarify because they have a lot of prison myths and stories that can be placed on people that they didn't actually do. So I've heard both sides, right? I've heard the side of black being a booty bandit and black making this is a stupid one I heard. Hi, listen to this one. I don't know if you ever heard this one. This was a Nassau County Jail one I heard. They said black. Now I know this got to be false, but this is what they put on his name. They said he go on the tier in the county in the main jail and make every guy line themselves up in the tier and put their wee wee through the gate and he go and suck everybody's wee wee down. Imagine what Black would do if he heard somebody say that to them. Can you imagine? Because I know him from the street.
He
Go
would
ahead,
break
y'all.
their jaw. He would break their jaw literally like 4 or 5 different times. And you know, let me get to the point of that, which you made a very good point. Z did have the power to come from B block, okay, which was the workers' dorm, and back then. And anybody listening, you know I'm speaking actual facts. You know I ain't lying because I was there and you was there. Now, in the workers' dorm, in the bottom of the jail, Z Black had the authority to go to the top of the jail from B dorm. Now imagine an inmate able to go to the door with no pass, no officer, and tell the CO, yo, crack the gate. I need to run upstairs for a minute. Now they know what he going to get. He go upstairs. He come to the hole in the door. You know how he let him in the back. He don't go past the shower, but he can holler at you from about right there, right? Now he come up. He call his peoples. Yo, how? Yo, hold on, Z. Coming right there. Yo, what up, baby boy? Yo, I'm fucked up there. Excuse me. I'm messed up downstairs. Can you hold me? Can you throw me something so I make a move? No doubt. That's being smart. That's being smart.
It's
Because
jail
if
politics.
you tell him no, and you think because you're on that side of the gate, it means something, about 4 people standing behind you will do whatever he say right then and there. He tell them mash you out. You get, I don't care who your uncle is, I don't care who your father is. Yo, it doesn't matter in here right now. We'll get to that bridge when we get there back in the street. But right now, the law is, and Z said, send that. Okay? The best know what I'm saying is true. The biggest
Yo,
money
how,
givers know is true. Add on,
yo,
Rob.
how, I gotta add on. What he's talking about, guy, I got chills. This is what I'm talking. And everybody who these kids at home, this is what you don't want to be a part of. You don't want this in your life. He's saying street politics is one thing. Understand, you could be like, yeah, you got gun busting in the street, you running the block, you doing all that, but prison and jail politics? All that go out the window, my dude. The one that you thought was a crackhead or a dope addict or something, you go in there, he swole up this big like somebody that blew air in him, like, and his name, he's been going in that prison. They got a legacy. Like he said, they got 100 dudes that'll do anything they say that will stop march you out and don't go up to the mountains and the prisons. They can touch you anywhere they want to. And what he's saying is, he's saying a wise man, it would be wise of you. He said, if Black it's he said he messed up and he down and everything. He like, yo, could you hit me off? You know what I mean? He said what he's saying is it's not a punk, it's wisdom. It'll be wise of you to go ahead and be like, you know what, here I'm but that comes with balance. Now what Hai's talking about now, he also said in this prison, in this system, you got to balance and weigh those who actually need something or it'll be a benefit for you to do it versus you being tested and tried. You see what I mean? It's a balance act. And if you don't balance it right, huh?
It'll bite you in the backside. Now, I want to say something, right? Prison, to the younger people that are listening, they only tell you the good stuff. They don't tell you about that 6 feet tall white boy that will smack the blood out your mouth. He ain't telling you about these nights because you happen to be slacking in the back of the line, and this officer just feel like getting off the night. So you know what? You play the wall. You know what I'm saying? If you don't move a certain way, that situation could become really bad for you. Your peoples could receive notice that you're in the hospital because you simply pissed off an officer. This is real. It ain't just the inmates you got to worry about. There's officers in the system such as Preacher, just to be exact, on Comstock. If you ever been through Comstock, or Preacher. Preacher is known for hurting inmates really bad. They said he shoved his watch down an inmate's throat, which almost cost him his job. The inmate choked to death to some sort, but the inmate lost his life at the hands of this officer who has on his arm a black baby with a noose around his neck. These group of officers are in a gang also. They're in a gang also. You want to add on, Rob?
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I've heard the stories, but I never got a name with this Preacher dude. I heard the stories about Comstock where the COs run and these big 6'5" tall white boys looking like Mounties, looking like kind of Mountie men, and about the tattoo of the baby, of a black baby with a noose around his neck. I heard another one got it on his leg, and they'll show you, right? I heard they'll pull it and show you the noose of a black baby tied around his neck. Go ahead,
I pray nobody hearing my voice ever see this tattoo, because if you see this tattoo, please remember, I told you, you are in immediate danger. You are in serious danger. More danger than the brothers next to you in green could ever bring. See, nobody tells this side of the story about the CO gangs. Imagine laying in a cell 1 o'clock at night and your gate busts. Right, you want to tell them what I mean by gate busting and all that?
Yes,
or you think they good?
So, no, they ain't good. So a gate bust. So a gate, guys, the gate is a cage and it's locked. And so the CO, they at their main entrance, they can pop your gate, bust your gate. So they unlock your door. So when it's locked, you're supposed to be safe because nobody can unlock it but the COs. So you should be able to sleep peacefully unless you got somebody in your cell with you that's going to be attacking you.
So they think, bro, according to TV. Don't let TV prison shows fool you. It's nothing like that. You can never prepare yourself for Comstock, Attica, or Dannemora based on a TV show. It's so different. But do the now. Let's get back to you being in your cell. The younger ones, close your eyes for a moment and try to envision this. You're laying in a cot. You're supposed to be safe. But you forgot that on your way to program, you said some slick stuff to that CO. You forgot about him, right? Yeah, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Remember that CO? You kind of like gave the cold shoulder and said something slick, and you and your mans laughed and kept going. It ain't over, homie. Nah, it ain't over. He's coming to talk to you. That gate busted open is letting you know, wrap up what you don't want broke up, okay? Because you about to go through it, homie. And I don't know if your uncle, your brother, your father, your cousin, I don't know if any of the men in your family have ever told you about how these officers can beat you in the middle of the night. You hear me? I don't know if they ever told, but if they haven't shared this with you, then you need to go back and ask them, why did you leave that chapter out the book? Well, I'm going to tell you why most don't bring this story home. Because they would be reliving it. And who would want to relive one of the most horrible nights of your life? You pray that you can forget this night, but you know what? You can't. It's forever in your subconscious. It's dangerous. To the younger ones that don't know, I'm talking to you. There's never been nothing beautiful about going to prison. Going to prison is very dangerous. I was in prison not even a month. 1988, going into 89. I witnessed a man lose his life at the end of a broomstick. He lost his life at the end of a broomstick. And it was a lie that cost him his life. How about that? And also a computer error, because he had a misdemeanor charge. He should have never been on the high bell floor. I'm talking about G floor. He should have never been up there. That's for state brothers that are going upstate or have felonies. You know what I'm saying? It was a computer error in housing that he landed up there with the exact same man whose girlfriend he's supposed to have violated. Well, it got real. And it wasn't a lot of questions being asked to find out if the story was true or not. It resulted in one inmate dead and another one with an extended bid. On the bid he was already copping. Right, you got me? You want to help him out?
Yeah, I got you. So now he was talking about to your youth. He said the brother only got a small charge. He had a misdemeanor. He's not even supposed to be up there with these certified killers and monsters and people that's going to prison to be. He's supposed to be doing his bid is your time in jail, your stint with the lower people to go home. But they a mistake error on a computer error messed him up, a card error, or it could have been purposeful because sometime y'all know this, it don't be an error. Sometimes they do it willfully and put you on the wrong tier and send you up on a warrior's tier, the adversary's tier. They did that to me. How they put me, my first bid in the county, they put me on Roosevelt tier, knowing that we was Hempstead was at war with Roosevelt. But because of my popularity, it was just because that I was so popular that I knew that Freedom was up there, and then Big Dupreme Allah was up there. If it wasn't for that, they was moving on me the whole tier. Yeah.
Now, to the younger people listening, or to people who have never even been in jail, I'm sure you can envision what I just shared with you as far as being in a cell, right? And then all of a sudden your gate open and you got 4 officers standing there, gloves on. You feel me? There's no need to ask what's the problem. You the problem. You forgot what happened earlier. Now they're gonna hurt you bad. See, a lot of people don't come home and tell this because we don't want our families to feel as if we was abused, but we were. We were abused. You know what I'm saying? We were abused. And a lot of people don't want to tell this part of the story. Most people want to tell just about the cleaning the Jack Mac and the smoking the bud and getting a little power you on a victory if he was fortunate enough to have a wisdom, or the trailer visits. Those are the things that most people come home and talk about, or the few fights that they won. They don't tell about the ones they lost. They don't tell about the ones where they got jumped. You know what I'm saying? And the police left them on the floor bleeding, for inmates to help you, who ain't going to help you because they know if they get involved, then they going to be the next victim tomorrow night. To the young people listening, I hope that something I said is registering. Now, a lot of the brothers that I also realized were fatherless. A lot of us have a lot of anger inside of us because we grew up without a father figure or our father in our life. It's very important. It would have been very fruitful for us to have had that male figure in our life. He plays a role that we really don't understand just how significant it is. A father figure is there to give us what the mother can't give us. This is by nature. This is designed by nature. The females to do one thing and the males to do another. If one is missing, then the pie is not complete. The situation will not be holistic. It will not have everything that it needs. Rod, you want to add a little light onto that for me?
Yes, absolutely.
The male and female situation?
Yes. So that I was starting at the beginning of this when I played the song, But Y'all Blame Us. Remember I said they blame us for the environment. And remember, I actually right at the beginning, I said in the 40s and 50s, we had mom and dad in the home. We had the structure, but they broke the family unit up. And what Ha's talking about is that a lot of these guys that are in prison, these young males or whatever, there's a lot of aggression and violence because it's suppressed confusion. It's suppressed anger. It's suppressed because they didn't have the structure of a male father figure to love and guide their energy into the right places. So they have a release for that energy, constructive energy, to have a point of release that'll be beneficial. So it leads to destructive release of energy. Go ahead, huh?
You hit it on the head. I don't like what I see in the mirror. So therefore, I don't like anything that's a reflection
Woo,
of me. You know what I'm saying? I can hurt my
woo.
brother. I can hurt my brother faster than I can hurt a Caucasian. Why? Because the Caucasian doesn't look like me. I can hurt anything that look like me, and the drop of a dime, I blow them. Why? Because I don't like me. There's a part of me that's angry. There's a part of me that can't be healed unless that man comes back and sit down with that little boy inside of me and hold me and tell me he loved me and tell me that, listen, I'm sorry. I wasn't there for you. And it's okay to love your brother. It's okay to love anything that looks like you and everything that looks like you. We weren't taught this. We don't know this. This is why it's so easy to hurt the man that lives next door to you. How can you hurt your neighbor? How can you come out? We never hurt each other in Hempstead when I was growing up. This is unheard of. If we had a fight, that's all we had was a fight. And we looked our wounds, and tomorrow we was on the same basketball team, laughing it up. And then if anybody tried to hurt you or me, if you was there, I knew for a fact you was rolling because you had the heart to roll with me. So if you roll with me, I know you'll roll with me against anything trying to harm me. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I love my brothers. I want everybody to understand that. Go, Ra. I feel you. Go. I feel your enemy.
Yes. He said, listen, he said they hate themselves. They hate the image of with themselves in the mirror, and this was preconditioned. This was the thing. We didn't hate ourselves before this project that they created. The serpency, the powers, created a project to destroy what? The male gene, to destroy the leadership gene. J. Edgar Hoover said, if we don't corrupt this generation, a Messiah will come from them. Someone that can help them to heal their trauma. This trauma that lead all the way back from slavery and stuff. It's a reinstilled trauma from Jim Crow, from slavery, all of it. So when they took the family structure and broke them down, took the man out of the home, and then feminism empowered the woman and gave her the power over them. Now the man, these children are being raised by a matriarchal system, and the mom is stressed and confused because she ain't got no man guiding and leading her. So she's stressed, she's working. So there's a hatred of this, of the male hating himself. So I said, when that male see the image of himself, another black man, he said, I will bang on you faster. He's saying he will stab or cut you or harm you faster than he would someone else. I hate you more than I hate any other nation of people. And this was a condition. I said, when we was little in the 70s and 80s in Hempstead, Strong Island, and Parkside Projects and Midway and Crown Heights and Terra Ave, we didn't hate one another like that. We would fight one another, right? Beat each other up. And the next day we'd be playing, riding a bike. The next day I'd be on the back of your bike. We'd be, right? It's like, right? And if someone violated, we together. But no, they conditioned, they had to break even that structure, because if we build the structure of these men looking, identifying one another as brothers versus enemies and ops, that's why they call them now ops and adversary. Now you are my op, you are an opponent, you are opposite of me. It's the separation, the breakdown of the family structure of the unit. You heard? And then they replace it and they build it to make you, and also created effeminized men. Now this new generation that's raised from matriarchal with just a mother, that's it, and no other male leaders, the elders that would talk to the young youth in the street like, nah, young bro, you don't do this. And that's why we had the nation of gods and earth. That's why I said, if it wasn't for the nation of gods and earth, that's what taught us how to be a man, civilization, righteousness, to lead. You understand? That's why I said, that's what the Most High sent to save me. If it was for that, I probably, who knows what we would be. You understand? So they took and destroyed all of that. All right, go ahead.
Man, I left off speaking about the self-hatred that empowers us to hurt our brother. We have to start telling each other that we love each other again. Let's bring it back, y'all. Anybody that can hear the sound of my voice, let's bring it back, y'all. The time is coming. The time is coming. And the very man that you think you don't like may be the very man you find yourself back to back with when this shit hit, when this war hit the fan, because it's coming, y'all. It's coming. The time is coming where we really gonna have to put all these mediocre, trivial, issues to the side and say, yo, you my brother. And I say back to you, I love you, my brother. There's nothing wrong. Let's mean it. Let's get this black power thing back to where it's supposed to be. We got the strength, but we pointed in the wrong direction. Let's point it back at ourselves. Let's begin to love each other. Our women are so disappointed in us that they are now turning to themselves for comfort, for love. We
I
are,
know that's
we
what's
are, we are in a bad situation, black brothers. Our sisters feel they don't need us no more. They feel that they are all they need. And facts be told, they are the leaders of the majority of the households. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
brothers' names ain't on these leases. Let's keep it official. How many
Mm-hmm.
brothers out here got their names on a lease? If your name ain't on that lease, homie, then you ain't facing no true responsibilities. The sister is still the head of the household. They have been. If it wasn't for them through slavery, we wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for them today, we wouldn't be here. Who do we call when we in prison? It's the black woman out there holding down the house. Very few of us have a brother that we can call when we're incarcerated to say, my brother, I need you. We have to call a woman, and the woman is still the head of the household. Let's respect our women more. Let's give them the props they deserve. The sisters that done state bids, I feel your energy. My love is forever for you because you were the ones that came through those gates and put up with the humility. I mean, the disrespect of those guards touching you so you could see me. I love you, Angela Petty, wherever you are. I love you. You stood by me. You know what those Caucasians can do. You know what they've done to the women coming to see men to try to turn them around, make them not come back. Angela Petty, you are a strong woman, and there are many other women out there just like you. And tonight, I salute all you women that came through those gates to hold a brother down. You don't get truly what's deserved. You don't get the props you deserve, black woman. And I want you to know tonight that you are very special, and you are the jewel of a lost world. You are the essence of life, for life comes from you. But yet and still, we treat you like you are not as precious as you are. I apologize for all my brothers that you stood by and brought packages carrying through 59th Street, Columbus Circle in the cold, in the hot heat, carrying packages and babies on your hip. You never got the props you deserve. But tonight, I salute all you sisters that did it for a brother, and he came home and left you after you struggled and did all this time with them. I apologize for my brothers, sisters. We cannot leave you out of this equation. You are a very, very huge factor, and we yet to recognize you. But tonight, Mike White, to all my brothers that I know are true brothers that are still with their sisters, that stood by them by choice, not by force or trickery. Some brothers tell a sister, well, I got a 2.5 to 5. The 2.5 to 5 roll around. He tell her, well, I got hit at the board. You know what I'm saying? The boy come back around. He tell her he got hit again. But the whole actuality was brother had a flat 10 and he strung the sister along. And then guess what? He didn't even truly love her. When that was all over with, he walked out on her. Didn't even go knock on her door and say thank you for the food packages that no one else would have sent him. Sisters, you are recognized, you are appreciated, and I thank Uncle Ra for this platform to be able to let you women know that you are not forgotten, and there is men out here that respect you and love you, and you will forever be protected if it's up to me and my brothers, my comrades, and they know who they are. We salute you, black woman, and we respect you to the utmost. Ra, I want to touch one more. Go ahead, Ra, please add on to that.
Hold on. Let me add on. And if you can, write down so you don't forget what you was gonna say. So he said when he explained, he said when you got hit at the board. So he said what he was explaining was a brother went to jail and he told the woman that he's getting 2 to 5 years in jail so that she can be there for him and do the bid with him and bring him, visit him, send him money for food, for commissary and stuff. So, but he was lying to her, what he was saying. He said he was tricking her. He's saying he really actually got flat 10 years. They gave him 10 years in prison, but he lied to her and told her he only got 2 years. And he probably can be home 2 to 5. He can be home in about 3 years. But then when the time came up for him to be, she like, okay, you should be coming home. He act like when he went to the parole board, they gave him more time. So he said they act like they gave him more time when in all reality, he knew that he had 10 years or 15 years anyway, right? So then every time it comes around, he say, oh, they hit me at the board again. That means they gave me more time. So he's manipulating and lying to her. So he said she stood with him and did this time with him for all these 10, 15 years. And then the minute he came home, he act like she never existed. He just bounced. He never say thank you for all the packages. Thank you for bringing the kids up to see me. Thank you for traveling 5 and 6 hours on the bus and getting turned around in the cold and the snow. Thank you for sitting outside and coming all this way. And then the jail gets locked down because something happened and now you can't even come visit me, and you just dragged the kids for 4, 5, 7 hours on the cold one-way bus, everything hurting. Thank you for struggling and paying all the bills, and you didn't have the money, but you make sure you sent me something so that I can have something to be able to hustle with, to live, to survive. Thank you, no nothing, just use you and spit you out and throw you away. That's what he's talking about.
We have a lot to thank our sisters for. We got a lot of making up to do with our black women. I don't even care if you know the sister. When you walk by the next black woman, man, say something nice to her. We have to make our women feel more appreciated and protected. The time has come, man. The babies are listening. I hope the younger people are definitely getting the message. This is not in style anymore. It never was a style. But for a moment, people were dressing it up so fancy that brothers, and to me, couldn't wait to get up north. Like some people felt like they wasn't nothing until they were able to say, yeah, well, you know, I've been up north, but that ain't about nothing. Freedom is real.
That was me. Okay, let me explain this little part. Because all y'all, you and all my people was going to prison since we was like 12 years old. Now, I mean, they was going away from 8, 9 years old. By the time I got to 16, listen, I'm out there, I'm doing it, everything, you know, I'm getting money, and I'm like, man, I ain't never been to prison. Like, I felt like I was missing a check on my card because I ain't never been there. How stupid. That is the craziest brainwash now, me older. And so all those years, I was like, listen, man, I was like, yo, I got to catch a bid. I need that on my record. You got to be kidding me. Yeah, me? So by the time I caught the first one, I felt like, all right, I finally did it. And then I found out how real it was. And then I found out, you was rushing to get here? This is not the place to be, huh? I was like, yo, this ain't the place to be, dude. I'm like, I'm an animal locked in the cage, guys. And me, I have a free spirit. I'm the type of animal that'll gnaw his arm off to get out the cage. So it was driving me insane. So while other people were thriving, you got some people who thrive, they institutionalized, they thrive. I'm in there going insane, literally start looking bad, face breaking out. I'm going crazy. I'm like, this is not it. I'm like, I can't believe I was risking, I could have messed around and did a life bid messing around. But yeah, he frozen now, guys. He froze. I'm going to break down some other things he was talking about until he can come back, so he can unfreeze. But now, I was one of them because as well as all of them, they kept going to prison. Everybody I knew that was official, they had these prison records. They would go home and come back, and everybody knew them. And I was like, yo, I need that. This was, I felt it. This happened to me. I was like, I need that. And I guess it was the Most High covering me, but I'm like, man, I'm hustling, doing everything. Every time I just keep missing it. I'm like missing it, not knowing there was a covering. Now, he said, now, I'm going to clarify something. And this is to her as well. Now, we have to be careful with the sisters too. He said he back. All right, so once you join, click the link again. I'll bring you got to come backstage again. I'll bring you back in. So so you have to be careful because there is a generation of women that ain't the same as the generation of women. Now, what I want to point out to her, if you see on this live, there's a lot of women. And I'm about to, when he come back, I'm gonna get to asking him questions. We're gonna get to his interview. But I'm glad that I wanted him to express himself. So y'all got to hear his expression. So then when he come back, I'm gonna start asking him his questions, his interview. Now, I want to point out to Hakeem, you see all these women here. The reason why you see a lot of women, a lot of people, men with these channels, street story, prison story channels, they don't have a lot of women listeners here. I have a strong foundation base of women of all nationality that's here. Send link to the new phone. It's on the, just go to the messenger, huh? The same link from your messenger. So you just go to your messenger and click that link. Click that link. It's the same link, unless you can't find, unless, I don't know, unless I don't got the new phone. It's on the messenger. All right, let me know if you can't get it. So there's a lot of sisters here. So I want to point out, even in today's, there's still righteous, good sisters who are trying to do what's right. But don't get it twisted. The same way that there are righteous sisters that's trying to get us right, there's unrighteous sisters that will destroy you. You understand? So I want to bring the balance, because I don't want these youth to go out there and think, yeah, we need to praise all the sisters and run into that sister that'll destroy your whole life. The same wisdom you have to have with men, you have to have with women. It's a balance. But he's talking about, what he's doing is he's talking about his experience and seeing the sisters who was holding brothers down in prison. He's talking about the ones who holding people down. That's what I do. Remember my story that I tell about when I talk about Pam, my baby mother, we was together. I say all of the crazy stuff we've been through, what do I say? She held me down. I never forget that. And I said, that's why I said there was a devil possession that would come over her to make her, but she, in her heart, good woman, strong, held me down, covered herself when I was locked up. She wasn't showing her butt all off and hips and everything. She came to visit me, sent me food. She held me down. The real ones, yes. Shout out to the real sisters. And the same destruction that happened to the brothers is the same one that happened to the sisters. That's the destruction of the family. All right. So hopefully I can get back in, because I wanted to get to the questions, huh? I want to get to his questions. We ain't even get started. Huh? Where you at? Let me check my phone. Let me see, guys. Because I was just about to get to his questions. All right, so let me go back to the messenger. Oh, it's up here. I got it over here. Sorry, guys. Over here. Let me go back to the messenger. It's in the messenger. All right, so I sent it at 9:20. All right. So he's saying a new phone. Send link to the new phone. I don't have your new phone. I don't have the new phone number. You have to send me that phone number from the, well, you can't, because I guess send it from your phone to Facebook Messenger. Send the old link to Facebook, your new phone number, so I can send the link over there. All right. So let me put the link one more time. Invite, copy, bang, Control V. Enter. Oh, here you come. Here you come.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You back.
Yeah. Back with the family. Yeah, let's go.
Back. All right, I'm gonna get to your questions now, huh?
Go ahead.
Let me get to your first question.
Do you, Rob?
Did you know both of your parents growing up?
No, I didn't. And I have a lot of abandonment issues.
I found that out about myself too.
I wish I would have known my dad. And if I was to meet him right now, I wouldn't be mad with him. A lot of my brothers tell me, F that guy, he ain't never been there for me, this, that, and the third. Well, I realized growing up that whatever my mom and dad went through, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with me. And I really wish they had had a thought more of us, meaning me and my brother and sister, than themselves, and allow it to affect us. So that's something that me being a grown man and with my kids, I promise that I would never do. I would never let something from an adult status, you know, affect my children, or let it affect my children. They have some things children have to remain children. I don't care how old they are. Me and my kids will never be cool. We'll never smoke blunts. You know what I'm saying? We'll never really dap it up like one of his homies on the street. Because once you begin to mess with that respect margin, once it's tampered with, it can never be original again. So that means you opening the door for these kids to somehow disrespect you whenever they feel like it. So I feel like it's very important that, for the brothers such as myself that grew up without a father figure, I feel it is very imperative that we give our best example, and try to make them understand a little more clearer than we were able to, receive, because they didn't tell us a lot growing up. Phone bills in my name at 7 years old, uh, payments for this, payments for that. A lot of things just shouldn't have affected us the way it did. I'm sorry, I'm not the only person that realized as they got older that they had bills in their names and they weren't even 13 years old yet. You know what I'm saying? Your social security number tampered with and you ain't even 18 yet. You got credit and all this other crap going on. But that's just what they had to do to survive back then. I respect that. And we got to do what we got to do today. But let's try to have unity a little more in mind with every step that we make. Let's try to have our people in mind. We don't have to be so cold to one another, and that's what happens when you grow up without one of your parents. A side of you is not complete, and it not being complete, then you're not going to truly be the best that you could be. Yeah, that's
Thank you,
that's
Ha.
all. Yeah, thank you.
Yo, Ha, let me add in. So Ha saying he didn't get a chance to really know his dad. He said, but he's not allowing that to have bitterness take root in him. I did the same thing. My dad abandoned me and all that crap, right? He wasn't there, all that. But I remember how when his younger son, about 20 years my younger or something like that, when I came home from jail, my brother took me to visit, and he was beating on my dad in his old age, beating on him. I lost it. That's when I found out that even though he wasn't there, even though I had resentment issues and abandonment issues and all that, when it went down, I lost
Yes,
my mind on my little brother. I said, if I kill you, and after that, I thought about it all the time. I said, I love this man. Without having this relationship, without knowing, without him, I was like, something in my DNA was connected. And I was like, I wouldn't kill that. But if I ever you touch him, I kill you. I don't care that he raised me. I don't care none of that. That's my dad. And the scripture says, honor thy mother and father. It
I
don't
got
mean
you.
it don't mean you agree with their transgression, their sin, what if they drug addict, if they're but it means at the end of it all, I won't disrespect our honor. And what Hakeem is
Actually,
pointing out, he's saying, guys, we have to look at their life too, right? Meaning they
yes,
came from a generation. See, we came from the 70s, 80s. They might came from the 60s. They came from another generation. They had whole different issues they was battling with. And if
right.
you don't look at their viewpoint, understand, man, they might have did the best they can. Some of them got strung out on drugs. Some of them got strung out. You don't know what happened to them. That's why when we exposed the story of Z Black and found out his childhood, what happened to him, it doesn't excuse the things that he did later, but you see where the trauma, the root happened from. So if you don't take the time to think, maybe your mom or dad has some traumatic things that they couldn't be there for you. Don't let that bitterness, what Ha's saying, take root in your spirit, because if you do, it'll be a cancer to you. Guys, it'll destroy your life. The scriptures say you have to forgive so that you can be healed. You forgive for yourself. You
Yes,
understand? That's what
yes.
people don't understand. The first law of nature is what,
So,
Self-preservation. All
yes,
right?
Yes.
So if you don't forgive them for yourself, then you ain't preserving yourself. You forgive them so you can heal. You forgive so that you can be forgiven, so you won't go forth and be hurting other people. That's that syndrome I was talking about, of them not loving themselves, the image of themselves in the mirror, and harming each other. It's trauma. So Ha said, he said he forgave, his dad, and another thing he pointed out, he stopped the generational curse. So I put the image of his family, so that he said, what I didn't have, I want to stop this. So I'm going to do the best I can so that my babies can have some type of relationship with me. I'm going to try my best I can. Now, we ain't perfect, you see? And I remember this little dude right here. This is a rough little dude. I remember how when you see this picture, I said, I remember this dude right here. That little boy was rough. I remember him. He was no joke. I said, this little high, fast, and everything. This little boy could have been a football star or something, anything. Go ahead, Ha. Beautiful family, King.
I would like to point out, while we have the ladies' attention, because you say you have a big lady,
yes, we have
audience.
A big ladies audience.
I want to take a moment to focus on them, right? This lady y'all looking at right here, I've been with her for 43 years. 43 years. I met her when I was 14. I met her when I was 14. She's been through every trial and tribulation I put her through. I mean, the lady stood strong, and on behalf of all the other sisters out there that stood fast by your man, tonight I salute you. On behalf of your man, I salute you. On behalf of all the G's, I salute you. We respect you. I'm sorry that I can't say it on a bigger scale, so that you ladies could really feel like if I could throw a ball or something for all the ladies that's been stand-up queens for their kings. I would throw a dinner for you ladies, because you deserve it. And I wish that this seed right here that I'm playing, I would love to see brothers come together and we put something together for a bunch of queens, and just to give them their roses while they are still breathing and can acknowledge it and appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I would love for this seed to grow. Something for the ladies' night, a ladies' night where, we salute the sisters. Now, Rob, you say you have some more questions?
Yeah. So, I'm gonna get to your question in a second. So, I remember you and her. Shout out to Hempstead Strong Island's finest, right? And so
I love Angie, boy. Angie, my baby.
That's who held you down all these years.
Everybody
all
know
the bids.
All the
of course, I know Ange.
If you was in that visiting room, then you know her. If your lady needed a ride home or needed information about you being sent up north, they went to Ange. They knew Ange as Big Ange, this is the big sister, you know what I'm saying, in a way. Because a lot of sisters came to her for guidance, and she never turned nobody down. Nobody, despite nationality, she done helped put all the sisters doing. Any brother listening, if they was on that dance floor, they was blessed to be, active on that floor, then they know that lady. They know that man right there. They know the real me, for real.
Salute. All right, let's get to the question. Let me get to another question.
Yes, shout out Big Grease. Shout out Big Grease real quick. Midway. One love.
Shout out to Big Grease in the building, Midway. All right, now let's go.
Yes.
All right. So, how old was you when you first went to jail? Like, because I know it was young. What was your first time entering into the criminal justice jail system? How old were you?
16, 17.
16, 17. That's the first time catching the county. And what did you catch? A county bid, and what was it for?
That was shoplifting. You know, us Hempstead boys got sticky fingers.
Boosting. Yeah, we used to boosters, the booster crew.
Mommy couldn't afford it. Mommy couldn't afford Latigra. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go up in A&S. Remember A&S? Had to go up in A&S. Had to go up in A&S and get me a few outfits. Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I went through the booster phase too. Adidas suits and all that. A&S with the Adidas suits, all that.
My mother couldn't afford it, so I had to do it. I had to do, not glorifying, because when I got caught, I was scared and I was crying. So let that be known for the record. When I first got locked up, I was crying. I was scared to death. They scared me up, but they didn't break me. I stood firm. I kept my mouth shut and told them, call my mother. That's what I did. I knew that much because the first thing, I want to say something too, real quick. The first law most mothers teach us in the house is what? Stop telling on your brothers and sisters, right?
Stop
That's the
snitching.
first thing mother
Absolutely.
said. You
Tattletale.
came running in there. You came running in there telling something. The first thing mommy said was, yo, stop telling on your brothers and sisters. Now, she still went and checked them, but you got
Hmm.
checked first for being the
No,
rat in the house. So it was
she said
always,
nobody likes a tattletale.
that's
Uh-huh.
right. So
Nobody likes a
nobody is exempt when you get involved with people and you do something and then you fall on the circle. There's no excuse for that because from the mornings with cereal in front of you, mama was that was the first law mama was telling somebody. Shut up and stop telling on somebody. Stop telling. Yeah, go ahead,
all
Rod.
right.
Add on.
All right. So now you grew up with your mom raising you. And how you grew up, if I remember correctly, you grew up on Grove Street at first, right?
Yes,
Was that
yes,
correct? Yeah.
yes, yes,
Shout,
yes. G Street, baby. G
shout
Street.
out to Grove Street. Shout out to Hempstead,
108,
Strong Island,
108,
G
baby.
Street.
108.
All right, 108
Yes,
Grove
sir.
Street in the
Yes,
building.
sir.
All right,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's where
Yes,
you met
sir.
your wife too. Didn't your wife
At
grow
the
up there
ice
too?
cream. Yeah, she moved from the west. She came from the
Okay.
gunslinging west, Westbury, low cash, uptown.
Oh,
Shout out
okay.
Prospect. Shout
Shout
out
out to
Prospect.
Westbury, Strong Island. All right,
No doubt.
Prospect Ave. We got some stories about Westbury. So she moved there and she moved to Grove Street. If I
Yeah,
that's correct. All
yeah.
right.
And
So
then
I'm
I was at the ice cream truck, and she kicked me in
uh-huh.
the butt. And I turned around, and her girls just started giggling. And then one of them pointed and was like, "Yo, she did it. Yeah, she told on her friend. Word, I forgot to tell her you was hanging with a rat. But anyway, boom, her girlfriend pointed and told me, "Yo, she kicked you." So I turned around and I looked at her, and it was instant love. I fell in love with her. It was childhood love from then on to now.
43 years later. All right. Shout
Yeah,
out to Black
yeah,
Love. Shout out to
yeah.
Love, period. All my
Yeah,
nations of people.
yeah. Let it be known we are the oldest couple. Yeah, in Hempstead, Strong Island. We are the
Facts.
oldest, youngest couple to stay together, and we still together right now.
All right. Look, all right, there we go. All right. So, what was it like growing up in our in Hempstead, Strong Island? It was a strong black community. One of the first
Yo,
African American museums. It's one of the biggest
I'm
black
so
communities in New York. What
yo, I'm
was it
so
like
glad
growing
you
up?
asked that. Yo, I'm so glad you asked that question. It's a pleasure to speak up for Hempstead. Yo, Hempstead was beautiful, man. Hempstead was beautiful. I mean, we talking about the times when nobody locked their doors. We talking about the time when if I threw a rock and broke somebody's window, Mrs. Jackson would tend to me. And then when my moms came home, my moms would tend to me. I'm talking about that type of love existed where, you know what I'm saying, parents parented other people's children. That don't
Hmm.
happen no more. If somebody's parent was to try and check somebody else's child, they might end up going to war with that parent today because they're not the parents of yesterday. Yesterday's parents read books. Yesterday's parents understood their history. Yesterday's parents allowed their child to be corrected if they were wrong. You know what I'm saying? The community raised us. The community is no longer raising the children in Hempstead anymore. The children aren't children anymore. They're allowed to be so out of pocket that it's not even funny. It's not. They have no respect for their elders. And to the younger people, I say to you, there's no good in disrespecting the ones who are going to teach you how to avoid unnecessary pain and tribulations. If you listen to the people who have lived on this earth long before you came into existence, you can bypass a lot of nonsense. One decision can affect you 20 years from now. One decision you make today, tomorrow, can affect you 10, 20 years from now. So it's very important to the younger people listening that you let go of this Chicago drill lifestyle. We never lived like that in Hempstead. We never shot at each other. Hempstead was not known for shooting each other. This is crazy right now. Some people saying, "Oh, yo, he done got soft." No, no, no. I ain't get soft. I
He's
got
talking about
more.
the He's talking about the
I,
older generation from the 70s into the early 80s before the crack,
I'm
before they
affectionate.
flooded the crack. Uh-huh.
Right, I'm affectionate when it comes to my people. I'm affectionate. I care about my neighbor. I care about the brother that I hug and dap up. You know what I'm saying? I'm from that era where what you and your man went through, it meant something. It stands for something. There's no more loyalty today. Who's responsible for telling these kids that it's okay to rob the hand that feeds you, to backdoor the man who brought you in, sleep with his woman? Who said that was gangster? Who told you, cats, that that was what a real G was about? That's wrong. That's all trash. It's wrong. The man, the G, respects his man's woman when he's not around, and then he's not around when he's not around. You understand what I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
say to you? So
Mm-hmm.
oil and water don't mix. It's things that's going on today that I don't know where y'all got that from in Hempstead. That's not gangster. Got your own neighborhood scared to death of you. Nobody never feared nobody in Hempstead as far as coming outside like worried about loose strays just bouncing off cars and buildings, hitting children. Nobody's child ever lost their life back in the days of my time because Joe Blow threw a hot rock across the block and it hit somebody's child. And that never happened. This carelessness, this lack of love for one another never existed in Hempstead. Spread the word. This is whack. It never was real, bro. They got y'all believing a lifestyle that got nothing to do with where we from. What Chicago do,
Yes.
let them keep doing it. What LA do, let them keep doing it. Hempstead been respected all these years because compared to Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, and everything else that exists, we maintained our own style. We was the one place that did their own thing. We never wanted to be like money earning. We never wanted to, not run because we ain't from Brooklyn and all that. No, Hempstead was Hempstead. Strong Island was Strong Island. That's it. We were known for being originators. People loved us because they'd be like, "Yo, where you from? Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx?" No, I'm from Strong Island. Wow, it was hard to tell. You got like a city vibe with you. Word? Well, thank you for
Mm-hmm.
that compliment. But yo, we've been respected for so many years abroad, and now this younger generation come and you're destroying that legacy. You're destroying
Ha,
the love.
let me
Add on,
add
Rob.
in, it's because it's a systematic creation, huh? So I hear you shouting out the youth from Hempstead, but that same shout out goes to the youth from every last city, like you said,
Yes,
Chicago, LA, Atlanta. Nobody has an identity anymore. The system has created a universal
identity.
destruction of
Yes,
a
yes,
whole
yes,
generation.
yes.
So whereas remember New York used to have what they used to say, even the rap game, they say New York used to have their own swag. Later, they started rapping like they from the South. They
Yeah,
started
yeah,
fronting like
yeah,
see. So it
yeah.
was this is a systematic thing that it's to destroy the youth universally. So
They,
now what the thing that we grew up on and that foundation is because there was still a sense, there was still a strong patriarchal presence in the community. It was a manhood. Later, they literally destroyed, they imprisoned all the men, huh? They killed and imprisoned all the men. So the other generation coming up, it was a generation full of women. So there's an effeminized place. That's why snitching is cool. Snitching is a whole fad, right?
we'll
Like
get this.
so
We'll get
the
this.
the system has destroyed. Like we are throwbacks. Like I'm an old soul. I'm like we like the last Mohicans, bro. Like you know what I mean. We are the last generation. Now they won't. If they don't even gotta. If they did the crime, they got an out because they like I can snitch and it's cool to snitch. Everything where there's no more code. There's no more ethic. There's no more. There's no more what you call that
We have to shout
self
out. We
responsibility and accountability
We have
for.
to shout out. We have to shout out the men that were there. There were men They were men that stepped up for brothers like myself who didn't have a father. There were men
That's what
that
I'm
took the
talking about.
time out, and I want to shout them brothers out. Shout out to the OG Yogi. Shout out to to Kelly B. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Grease Man. You know what I'm saying? Ballhead
Mm-hmm.
Al. There were
Mm-hmm.
OGs who did take the time out to build with brothers such as myself that other people couldn't find the time for, or they felt
Let
like we
me
were unreachable. We were
let me hear another
unreachable.
one. Huh? Shout out to Father Allah. You
Indeed
heard?
so.
Clarence
Indeed so.
13X Smith.
Word
Shout
is
out. You
bond.
see? Shout
He
out to
reached
Malcolm
many
X.
children. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out. Yeah. You see what I mean? Shout
They
out to the
reached many
ones
children.
who stood up that reap many children. You see?
Yeah,
Yeah, huh?
shout out to all the men that took in somebody else's and taught them right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to those
Mm-hmm.
men. Shout out to
Yes.
all the single fathers that took the
Uh-huh.
babies when the girls turned their backs and thought that you couldn't raise those children without a female in the house. Shout out to those single black men that stood up
Mm-hmm.
and fathered those children. Shout out to the black men
Shout
that
out to ones
fathered
who
other
stood up.
men. Yeah, shout out to the
Children.
black
Mm-hmm.
men who fathered other men's children. Because he biologically helped create doesn't necessarily make him the father. The father is the one who teaches, protects, and provides. That's the father. So in the end, a lot of brothers have been father figures, and shout out to you for being there for those who weren't yours. A good man
Yeah,
is hard to find. Ladies, there are good men out here. Fellas, there are good women out here. We have to come back to one another. We have to start loving one another. I mentioned earlier, our women have lost faith in us. They're turning to one another. I don't want to let that go unheard. Our women are turning to each other. I'm not knocking that way of life, which others now find to be their way. Fine, I'm happy for you. But remember, the
that's
children
it.
are the
That's
future.
created too. That's
The,
created too, huh?
the
All of
children are
those
the future.
things, all of those things you're pointing out are actually planned processes. It's
Where we
all
going?
strategically planned to make the woman turn to woman, to make the men turn to men, to break the family structure, to eliminate. Now remember how all the things, the people who you, when we point out the men, the older men who were the figures, what would I just say? Clarence 13X, what?
He took
Killed.
in many
Malcolm
children.
X, what? Killed.
Many children.
Medgar Evers, what? Killed. Other ones, what? Enslaved. Imprisoned. That's still enslaved.
Yes, yes,
You see?
yes.
Imprisoned. The others, what? Made into what? Heroin addicts. You see? Remember, we had, what's his name? Fred Hampton and them. They were 21 years old. Fred Hampton was in Chicago. He was 21 years old. He was saying about teaching all the nations about empowering the youth. And they made food programs, empowering. These were young. What did they do? Killed them, huh?
You
And where's
touched on
Chicago at
something.
now? What did they do? See, and
Yeah,
remember, took him
yeah,
out. So
yeah,
now look at the
yeah.
youth in Chicago. That's what I'm saying. It's a generational implementation.
You
So
touched on something, Rob.
the funny thing, huh, that you pointed out when you shouted out the elders, someone who were there for us, actually what we are doing, me and you right now, this is what's missing. We are elders and we are doing this right now on this platform and trying to do what others did for us and try to wake the youth, the young generation up, men and women, to show what hand is being devisively done against them so they can see that this is actually a ploy and a plot to destroy their future generations, themselves and their future generations. Go ahead,
I
huh?
want to I want to touch back on something you spoke on, snitching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Snitching. For those who are not institutionalized or did any prison time, you have what we call citizens, and then you have, on the other hand, people who live an alternative lifestyle, for a better choice of words. However, the
Primitive
difference
lifestyle.
the
Mm-hmm.
difference is this, for those that don't know. If you're down with somebody and you agree to do something, and then that something goes wrong, and you fall on the people that you agreed to do this with, that's snitching. If somebody that works a 9 to 5, goes to church on Sunday, is walking down the street and he eyewitnesses a store being robbed and he calls 911, that's what a citizen does. That's what a law abiding person does. That's what 9 times out of 10, most of our elders would do. So understand that word, young people, or those who have not been incarcerated in life, in this life, in this lifetime. Snitching, I don't get it, right? This show, First 48, perfect example. When you get arrested, young people, the first thing you do is ask for a lawyer and keep your mouth shut. You say nothing
Good.
else. Nothing else. Ask for a phone call and ask for your lawyer. That's it. If you open your mouth and you begin to try and tell a lie, that lie, little do you know, through my experience, is going to lead them to someone who's going to say something that you have no control of. Now, that person says something that gives them a little bit of guidance towards the real truth now, because now he got names of people that you do know and associate with, because you lied and said that person was a witness for you when that person never knew these people were going to come. So now when they go to them people, guess what they do? They say, oh, he run with Mike, Tom, and Black. Oh, they didn't know that, but guess what now? They on to Mike, Tom, and Black. They hunt down Mike, Tom, and Black. What happens now? A little more truth. Now they getting closer and closer to the people that you do hang with daily. So it all began from you trying to lie your way out of the precinct. You can't lie. Hear me clearly. You cannot lie your way out of the precinct. The only way you walking out of a precinct is if you're giving up somebody close to you. Okay? And why I say close to you? Because 9 times out of 10, the only person who's going to trust you at this date and time to come and do what you're coming to do is somebody that you deal with. It says that your worst enemy shall always be amongst your family. So do the knowledge to this. If you keep your mouth shut and if you really in this game, this shouldn't be hard for you. Shut up. If you out here and you get arrested, young people, shut up. Do not try and lie your way out. It's never been done. The only way out is giving up somebody close to you. Yes, Rob.
Let me give a disclaimer. So he's saying, if you are living a criminal lifestyle, let me give a disclaimer and explain.
Yes.
Because he pointed out there's 2 lifestyles. One is called civilian, the other is called criminal. If you're a civilian, like me, I am a civilian. Back in the days, I was a criminal. I did my time for any crime that I committed. I kept my mouth shut. I did my bid. I did my time. Okay? I said, I did my time. I went to trial when they was giving me 15 to life trying to blow and give me 55. I did my time and went to trial. All right? He's saying, if you are a criminal, you cannot lie your way out of your criminal activities when you get caught. That's what he's talking about. So he's talking to all those people who want to be bout it, gang, thugger, whatever. He's saying if you ain't about the real criminal life, then do not go down the path. Because once they get you in their system, you're going to think you can lie your way out of it, but you can't. So he's telling you, if you choose to be in that life, but we're telling you, don't do it. Now he's just giving an example of reality. This is a reality-based channel.
Bro, I
Yeah,
have to
keep
make a
that same
correction.
energy, Larry.
I have to make a correction. The correction is this. Once you in this lifestyle, there is no turning back. We had a phrase back in the days. It was like I'm down by law. When I say I'm down by law, I don't think many of you understand exactly what I'm saying.
First, you have to explain what lifestyle, because you said once you in this lifestyle, what lifestyle? That could mean anything.
Once you commit a crime,
But you made a statement. You said there is no. Say it again. You said there is no getting out.
right? Once you commit a crime, you're in. That's it. That's it. There's no going back to being a civilian once you commit a crime.
I don't agree with that, huh?
Okay.
I totally disagree. You know why?
Okay.
Because I
Yes.
committed plenty crimes, and now I'm a civilian because I don't commit no crimes anymore. and I paid my debt. This is why I agree. I paid my debt to society, and now I've lived my life now going forward trying to help anybody else not to make the mistakes I made. So
The reason
now,
why,
of course, now, hold on, let me explain my
yes,
part.
yes.
I
This is
still
good. This is
keep,
good. This is good.
I still keep, now I think I know where you're going in a way.
This is
Let me
good. This is
explain.
good.
Because I still keep my ethics and code. So I think I know where you're going. Because
I'm
even
gonna speak.
though, listen, even though I'm a civilian, I still ain't a rat. I still won't ever tell. I still won't, I still have the same code and I still honestly, see, I'm built a little different. I'm not really calling 911 on people. See, I'm built, I think that's what he's talking about in a way.
See,
Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I'm not a civilian because I ain't calling 911 on that
Okay, Rob.
unless it's
To help a
someone
baby. To help a
to help
baby.
I was about to
To
say
help a
that.
baby.
Unless
To
it's
help an
someone
elder.
elderly, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
And that's to help them. Now, I'm calling 911 to get the ambulance. I'm trying to help them. But
Right.
as
Right.
far
I
as
agree with you
I'm
on
not
that.
I'm not
But
going
we,
to testify though.
but see,
Listen
Rob.
how
No, but,
I know
but
where you're
Uncle Rob.
going.
Uncle
I'm
Rob.
not
We
going to
don't. We.
testify though.
But Uncle
Go
Rob.
ahead.
That's confusing the young.
That
That's
is.
confusing. You
That
know,
is. It is
let's
gonna
get them
confuse them.
let's get them on one path. Let's get
You
them on
totally
one
right.
path.
You are totally right. And it's only because now there's reason why is because you made a statement. And that's confusing them. You said once you in, you can never get out.
Right,
And I can't
right.
if we tell them that, then that's gonna screw them over. That mean they can't change their life. That's not true. Yes, they could. You can change once you just because you was a criminal don't mean you can't get a second chance that you can't start over. Yes, you could.
Okay.
Now,
I
try to
got it.
explain your part so we can come to an understanding of kind of what you meant by
I
the
would like to
statement.
I would like to use myself as an example in this.
All right, go ahead.
After all these years of what I've of after all these years of living the lifestyle that I live, there's no way that I can put on the hat of a civilian. Um, I will, to a degree, respect citizens' rights to the utmost. However, there's certain things that I just can't do. You know, there's some things that I just can't do because of how I started my life, and because I
That's what
started
I
my
was
life,
talking about, huh?
and
That's what I was
because
talking.
right,
Certain codes you won't break because
right,
we
got
came
you.
from a life. That's what I meant. So
But we
as
didn't want
much
to
as that,
confuse. But we didn't want to
yeah.
confuse the young. We wanted to understand that there's only one path, and that's to do the right thing and be
Let me
loyal to whatever it is you're into.
let me break something else down. How you gonna like this?
Yes,
What is the root word of civilian?
civilized.
Thank you. So can you not be civilized again?
Yes, yes, yes,
There
God.
we go. So
Yes,
listen what you just said, huh? So in that foundation from the root of the word of
right, right.
civilian is civilized. I
And
am what? I am the civilized
and
black man.
and
To
the
make
duties of
sure
a
you
civilized person is to teach he who is a savage civilization, righteousness,
civilization,
the knowledge of
righteousness,
self,
their self, and the
sign for
foundation of
all
life.
things in life.
Exactly. Exactly, huh? So
Rifle, yes,
see,
peace,
I knew
God,
you was
peace,
gonna like that. I knew you
peace,
was gonna
God,
like that.
peace,
Praise
peace,
ya.
God,
You know what we do, huh? Shout
peace,
out to the
God,
God's nurse. Now,
peace,
because of that, yes, you are. See what I mean? Now you see
peace.
what I'm talking about. I said the
Indeed,
devil's
so.
a lie. That's those words that they make us think we can't be a civilian. That's why I said when we go to the root word, that's why you know this English language is a language of spells and curses. So that's why I
Mm.
always go to root word. You know what root is, huh? That's the foundation. You heard? So you
Peace, God,
understand. So I always go to the foundation
peace,
when I'm teaching. I'm like, nah, that's that other brainwash. That's why I
peace,
said no. I said, now there's certain things that I won't do as a civilized man. I'm not going to do it,
peace,
period. You
God,
heard?
rifle,
I'm not
yes,
going to
God,
do those things because I'm rooted in a foundation of honesty, truth, respect, royalty, responsibility for my own actions. So I ain't going
peace,
to snitch and I'm not going to do this, but I am a civilized man. Facts. I'm a civilian now because see, when we was doing our crimes, we wasn't the civilized man. That's why the gods and earth went rogue. That's why they killed Father Allah. You know why they killed Father Allah? So that the children coming under the teachings would become uncivilized in their thinking they're
Indeed
civilized. You see?
Indeed so.
And that's where we went astray. That's where you get the rogue gods. That's when remember when back in the 80s when the gods was the ones that was the terror and the threat in the streets. That's when we lost our righteousness. You see? So praise God. I knew you would like that, huh? I knew that. So
you're right. You're right, God.
Absolutely,
You're right.
King.
You're right. I understand. Understand and understood, God.
Understand and understood. All right. So now for the youth, what he's saying is you can repent for your sins. You can clean up your life. You can realize, okay, what is script? What it say, Haas? A wise man can learn from the mistakes of others. You see, wise man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from his own mistakes. A wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. So that you don't even got to make the mistakes. That's why me and Haas here trying to teach the youth, don't even make the mistakes we made. That's our responsibility as elders, as leaders, that we can. Go ahead,
we not glorifying nothing. We here to share with you the terror that we went through mentally so that you don't have to suffer. See, them nights in that cell is cold. And they ain't tell you about the nights they was hungry in that cell. Imagine being locked in a room and you can't get nothing to eat. I'm talking about really want something to eat and you can't get it. Imagine being in a room and you ain't got another blanket because it's cold and you can't get one. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the worst that the prison can offer, because a lot of brothers coming home these days don't tell this side of the story. They only tell the side they got a smile and a laugh. But there were a lot of nice tears ran down my face, man. Missing my mother, missing my children, missing my freedom, missing me. There were a lot of nice tears rolled down my face, missing my earth, missing my black woman. I'm wondering if something happened right now. I'm locked in this cell. Something worldly happened, and I'm locked in this cell, and I can't get out. Yo, what do I do? This is crazy. A war break out. I'm locked in that cell. What can I do? I can't get out. That's a terrible feeling. If this building catch fire or something really bad, I'm trapped in this cell. They run for themselves. I'm locked in this cell and can't get out. That's a horrible thought, to be locked in a room that you have no control of, and then if something goes down around you, you're subject to the horror because you can't free yourself.
All right,
you can't move. Go ahead, Rob Bill.
Let's go. So now, when you was in the street, when we was because we were raised without the dads, we were in the hood. They destroyed the generation before us. They destroyed the leaders, the eldership. They killed, they locked up and slaved the Panthers. They locked them up. They killed Clarence 13X Smith, trying to teach knowledge of self. They killed Malcolm, Medgar Evers. They broke up any type of so-called black structure that would help us to raise us, me and you, to be foundational, powerful, civilized men, builders. Come on. Now, because that was removed, then they pumped crack into our hood. Now, we had a crack era. This is what our stuff started. This is when you said, remember you said Hempstead didn't used to be about fighting. Oh, but when the bang started coming, when the crack came, that's when all the killing started. It was our generation. Now, when did you, because I know that's when I started from young. I started selling crack at 12 years old, for those who didn't know. You heard? Going hard out there at 3, 4 in the morning when I'm supposed to be going to school. All right, I'm selling crack on South Franklin back at 12 years old.
Around the same time you had that soft. Around the same time you had the soft.
Yes. Okay. So, no, I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't hear you. Say it one more time.
Around the same time you had the soft.
You told yeah, exactly. For those who know what that means. Yeah, exactly. Because the soft was before the hard. The soft was way before the hard. Right. So now, at what point did you ever join a gang at any time in your life, or were you ever part of a gang?
Nah, because I lived. My mother moved around Hempstead, so I kind of feel like early it wasn't for me to like click up, because I knew everybody. And I didn't feel right jumping jumping him today, you know what I'm saying? Then next month or next year, my mother moved from the Heights from Cornell to South Franklin, and now the same people that I jumped, now I'm over here by myself, living near them. I didn't like that thought, so I stayed to myself, and everybody kind of respected me for being a lone wolf. You know what I'm saying? I knew everybody, but I stayed out of everybody's business. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it was two people that I really had understanding with, and they were about to get it on, then I would try and intervene because both of them knew where I stood, and they knew that I stood for both of them to be in harmony, not to be in war and iniquity. So I could break up a lot of stuff. So, but no, I never joined the gang. The closest thing to a gang that I ever became affiliated with is the Nation Guards of Earth, and I remain guard to this day. I never was a 212. I was never, a C rule. I was none of that. I was always guard body, the original man. Yeah.
I'm lost. What's a 212? Sorry.
Oh, 212 is an abbreviation, 2 being B, which is the second letter of the alphabet, and L being 12. I mean, yeah, L being 12. So 212 is an abbreviation for BL, which is an abbreviation for blood.
Okay, blood. I got you. All right, I got you. There you go. That helped me too. So he say he never been to blood, and he never
Never been a Crip. Never been Crip. Never been blood.
Never been to blood and Crip. And guys, just so y'all know, our generation they bought that came later, and I'm glad that it came a lot later. Because if it would have came earlier for us, that's what we would have been. You know that, right? Because we didn't. Right. I'm so glad of that. I'm thankful for that. That our generation, we got the Nation of Gods and Earths. We got knowledge of self. After that, when the system went to destroy that, to take that from the streets, they replaced it with the gangs.
Right. While I have your platform, while I'm on this platform, I like to say something for the record, right? A lot of first of all, the firstborn in the almighty blood nation, the firstborn besides OG Mac, the rest, to my understanding, were God bodies.
God bodies, yeah. So, the original in them, God bodies.
Right. So I'm stating that to say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The Bloods and the Gods are actually one body because they came from the Nation of Gods and Earth, or the originators who had now the self. So they were civilized people as well. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make that now.
Hold on, but you gotta clean that up. That's the New York.
Okay, got you. Yeah, right.
California is not.
Right,
that's the whole. Right. That's the original. Yeah. Yes,
I'm talking Rikers Island.
New York, Rikers Island. You know, I always got to clean this up.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's talking about the New York, when the New York created, not that OG Mac dude. He's talking about some of the other ones in Rikers Island, and before
they were God bodies.
Back in 91, 90s, the early 90s, they were the gods who now.
Because I was in Arthur Kill when the first, and this is 92, 92 R 3792 was my den. You never forget them. I was in Arthur Kill when a draft bus came through, and we were on our way to lunch to chow, and some power rules blew an original man, and it was like more than one. So the guards seen that, and they reacted to that, and it caused a major war. My point in mentioning that is that when we up top, go ahead, bro.
Because they don't know what you're saying. He said when he was first in 92, that's your first number when you went upstate north in prison for the first time, 92?
Right.
Okay.
No, 89 T.
89
right.
T. Okay. So this, all right. So now
in my travel, when he
was in there, a power rule, a Puerto Rican, I guess, slashed or cut a black person original.
Right.
That's what he spoke.
Yes.
A black person.
Yes.
And the gods, the Nation of Gods that was in the prison saw that, and they went up to defend.
Right, because we didn't know what was going on. All we knew was that there was 3 Puerto Ricans jumping on one brother. So that's not right. And that's what we defended. We went to help, to make the numbers right and to defend our people. You know what I'm saying? And then we come to find out that there was a movement called the Bloods in existence coming from Rikers Island. And that was the first time that I encountered Damus or Blood Brothers. That was my first time coming in
Now,
contact with them.
now let me point out again. He's talking about
New York,
1992. He's not talking
right?
about 2025 with these kids. I mean, 24 and 23 with the. He's talking about in the jail, in the prison, in Rikers and in up north prisons. This is when they first
Coming
started to
into
encounter
existence,
one another, and it was
right?
about protecting themselves against the other nationalities who were
And we
against
fought
them.
together, right? We fought
Yeah.
together. We didn't
Now
fight each
later
the
it
blood.
became something else.
Yes,
All right,
and that's
right,
for another topic. We ain't gonna bring
right.
that
That's
into
for
my
another
section.
time, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Let somebody else.
I need to clarify because I
Thank
don't
you,
want people
thank
to
you.
watch this and think that we
Right?
up
We
there
said this
saying,
or we said that.
yeah,
Nah, we
no,
didn't
no,
say
no.
that.
We
Nah,
don't. Yeah. All
nah.
right.
We
So
said they
now,
were civilized people. Let that be heard. We said they were civilized people, and that we fought together to defend our people, and that's it.
right, and then right, exactly.
That's
Now
it.
again,
Nothing else to be said.
we're not promoting none of that lifestyle, none of it. Or at least I'm
Right,
not. Anyway, promoting none of that. And again, it became later. Stuff became something else. But whatever.
right. Well,
Right?
yeah.
That's
Let's
that's
go.
none of our business.
Right.
Right?
Let's go.
That's
Let's
none of
go.
my
Peace.
business. All right.
Peace to the brother.
So
Peace all.
yes. So now, um, with did you ever get arrested or did you ever use a gun? Have you
Oh,
ever
never.
used a gun?
Nah, nah. I hate guns. I hate guns, man. I hate guns, Rod. I ain't never popped one in my life. And I know people saying, what?
Wow.
Mike White
Wow.
ain't never bust a ratchet. Ain't a nigga, excuse me, ain't a person in Long Island can say I ever backed out a burner on them or ever told them I was going to get one. Ain't a man. If you
That's
find a man alive that can say I threatened him with a burner, I give him $100 and a heady, and I'm
that's
almost 60.
actually that's actually pretty dope, huh? That's
Never
actually
touched
dope.
one. Never
That's
touched a
dope
burner.
because that's dope because that the gun
And
is
I've
a
shook, hold
spirit.
on. And I've
Go
shook
ahead.
with some of the best. And I've gotten it on with some of the best. Salute to all y'all. You know who you are. I respect you, my brother. But I've gotten it on with some of the best. And I ain't never had to go and get a gun for nobody. I never threatened a man with a pistol. That was not
Now,
my era.
the
Yes.
gun is a spirit. I remember. Now I had to get a gun because that's what was going on. They would shoot you. You don't bring a you don't bring a fist to a gunfight. You won't leave. They was
No,
trying to lay
no,
me
no.
down, so I had to. So, but what I'm saying is, I'm proud that you said that because that gun. I remember when I first got my gun to equalize the playing field. Right?
Right.
It was a spirit that took over me. It wasn't a good thing. It got me so dark that in '92 I was psychopath. That's why I understand what the Chicago, like these kids. Once you start shooting that thing, it's like a spirit takes over you. It's like you lose a respect for life.
Humility.
Like
You lose humility.
yeah, you lose. It's like the life
Human life.
high
Human
is
life
at the
don't
end
mean
of
nothing.
your nothing. Like it's like it makes you a god. Like I can take your life, so I have the power, and it'll corrupt you. Literally, it made me insane. If I didn't catch when I caught my bid in '92, that's when I came down from, and I never went back to that psychopath.
I
And it
was
was and
trying
it,
to tell you this. I texted this to you the other night, but I texted wrong and you were trying to read it. I'm going to say what I said then. I'm going to quote it for the young. This is for the young. This is for the
okay.
young about the gun. A gun don't make you a man, right? It go like this. A woman can bust a gun, but she'll never grow testicles. Do you understand me? A woman can bust a gun, a woman can shoot a gun, but she'll never grow physical testicles. Do you understand what that's saying? Just because you shoot a gun don't make you a man, okay?
Facts.
It means that you feared someone enough to take it to this extreme. You fear being conquered by that man, whoever he may be. You know his name. You know his face. Whoever he is, you know that you feared him physically conquering you with two hands, pinning you down, and doing whatever he want. And I ain't talking none of that other stuff that might be flying through people's heads. I'm talking about him putting his fist repeatedly through your face, damn near to the concrete. That type of doing what he want, where you can't move and he's beating you.
let me
He's beating you.
let me bring some balance, huh? Because you when you speak, you speak in a lot of specifics, and you don't realize there's generalities. So you got to be careful with specifics,
Add on,
because
add on.
just because a person have a gun don't mean that he couldn't beat someone one on one. When you got five dudes run down on you with guns, you see, and they're trying to exterminate you, sometimes you got to protect yourself.
Right, that's
And it's
self-explanatory, God.
it's it's about balance. So I'm just explaining because I
Yeah,
don't remember, we got to bring balance, right?
got
Because
you.
there's people who have guns who have it to protect their families, have it to protect their home. It ain't about because I can't fight you one on one all the time. Now you're talking about a specific case where a punk, that what you're speaking on is where a dude that ain't got no heart is hiding behind a gun for his heart. I know what you're speaking on. You're speaking on these little chumps who get a gun and thinking now because you can't man up and fight me one on one, now you got a gun, now you think that makes you tough. You're saying put the gun down and let's see where your real heart at. Because the
Now,
gun don't make you a man. Hold on, huh? You're saying that gun don't make you a man. So you're saying, listen, a woman could bust a gun, but that don't make her a man. So if you want to really prove you're a man, put that down and let's handle this like men. That's what you're saying. But so what I'm saying, I'm just bringing balance because all
you're
situations
right.
is
You're right.
individual, right? It's different situations. So you can't just make one specific.
No, I'm
That's
talking
for
about.
those.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about. You're my neighbor. You've been my neighbor since grade school. We weren't really cool, but we cool, and now we're arguing over. Our girls are outside arguing over a parking space. But you beat me outside to the argument, and for some reason, you feel like getting involved with two women arguing over a parking space to the point where my earth now feels disrespected. Now I'm outside, and me and you are outside. Does this situation call for two guns to be drawn, or do you feel like if these two men want to show these women that they're masculine enough to handle this, that they could go over there in the grass and handle it, or do you figure guns should come out because of a parking space and two women arguing, and now we drawing in? I'm saying
That's
that there's
exactly.
scenario. I'm saying that there's scenarios in the hood that should not end up with guns being involved. If you two men want to do that, then I feel like because we're in this community, because you live right there, the guns should never come out.
Facts.
If you live within a certain radius of someone and they have to go to a certain extreme, then it goes back to how the Zulu tribe did it. You went in the middle of the field, no weapons, and you body to body. That's it.
Facts.
Body to body. Only because you're my neighbor. We just ate together 2 summers ago. We cooked out. What happened to those memories? I gave your wife a ride. I helped jump your car last winter. What happened to those memories? What happened to those times? I mean, they mean nothing. Do we just get guns? Guns? Just run, get a gun?
Again, huh? Systematic, strategic manipulation of a balance of order. What I mean by that is you're talking, see, the things that you're talking is the things that we're trying to instill that hopefully we can get back to. Where a
Right.
village, it takes a village to name,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Where the
Right.
men lead up, where the men stand up for the women, where men can go handle each other toe to toe and live to see another day. But the destruction has been, but we have to also keep the reality of this is where it's at. So,
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
knowing as a wise civilized, right?
Yes.
All
Yes. We
wise and
civil.
civilized,
Gotta remain
understanding,
civilized. Gotta
yes,
remain civilized.
this is where it's at. Remember, we're called to be wise as in all situations and realize, yes, I might want this situation to be run in this civilized manner, but I'm amongst a bunch of savages.
Mm.
It's like,
Mm.
see how it's like when you go to prison. You know what I'm talking about? You have to change You have to
Yeah,
literally, I'm still civilized inside, but there's a point where I have to put a wall around that and I have to adapt. If I'm among bears, I need to start, you see, if I'm among wolves, if I'm among snakes, I have to be, you see, swift and changeable, yet
indeed,
remainable.
indeed,
You
so,
know,
bro.
Haas. You know,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes.
we're swift and changeable, yet I still remain who I am on the inside, but on the outside, I have to adapt to my situation. Yeah, I want to come out and be like, yeah, we man to man, but this dude, you got generations of this stuff, that this is all they know. They don't know what man to man is. We speak in another language. You see? They don't understand my language. They don't understand. I might as well be speaking Spanish, or I might as well be speaking, some African tongue. They don't understand that. All they understand. So guess what I'm gonna do, huh? I need to speak your language. You see?
Yes,
But I
yes.
still have to be remainable, meaning I have to be wise and understand. I'm going to make sure that I do whatever situation I handle it strategically and I look for the outcomes, but I have to always assess
May I,
where the society's at, where it's
may
at.
I please?
Now I want to, I got you 1 second, huh? Now I wanted to go back to where it was. Can it be that it was all so simple then, like Wu-Tang, but it ain't there right now? You see? Now my job is to look for the little seeds of people who have civilization. That's called a remnant. Look for those who have ears to hear. There's certain ones, let's say if it's a group of 100, it might be 15 or 20 that might have righteous seed in them. The other 80 might be bad seed. You know them by their fruit. So I need to navigate the bad seed and understand that, yeah, this is a bad seed. So yes, even though I want this situation, I got to survive my environment and I got to adapt to whichever situation. We adapted. Those who don't adapt will do what? Go extinct.
Do the
Go ahead,
knowledge, right? Do the knowledge. When there's something controversial, the numbers fly off the chart.
Thank you.
When it's something that's debatable, argumentative, the numbers fly, the participation and the numbers fly out the screen. But if you dare take this platform and begin to teach, we don't see that much participation.
Shadow ban. All right, Taz, let me explain something to you. The reason why I'm shadow, when I first released, this is back in 2021, I released with a movie. It was called Curses, about our people bringing up. That thing, I would have already been at 1 million subscribers. It got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views in the first day, right? So I'm like, yes, it's on. Next thing I know, I woke up the next day, it was about 200-some thousand views. It was on its way to millions. I just released. Bang, they shut my whole channel down. They was like, copyright, banned worldwide. I got on their list. I was like, so I'm trying to do it. They shadow ban. So then I made another channel, but they get your IP address. Once they got you, they got you. You know the system. So they knew who I was. They knew, and so every time this is about the 5th channel, they would shadow ban my channel. Where right now, what you're saying, that's exactly it. If you bring the light, then the darkness is going to try to make sure it doesn't get spread. So I have to do other devices. So I got another plan. So again, wise. See, showing swift and changeable yet remainable, wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. I learned the devices as the serpent, so I got to be wise. So I got other things. I got something I'm planning on the other side to go another way, because I got to come through the side door, the back door, because they already know. I messed up. If I would have knew this game, I would have never released my channel with that movie. I would have came under the radar first, built it up, and then slid in another way. But I didn't know. I thought I could just bring truth. You get it? I thought I could just come out and bring truth to power. Oh, they said they struck, and I'm still to this day. You understand? I'm still to this day shadow banned. So my other channel, but it's another whole nother social media. It's at like 5 million views this month. Guess what happened? About last year, I promoted that social media, one that I get 5 million views. I got it this month. I promoted it on my on my other channel.
Congratulations.
I went from 10 million views to like 100,000 in a week. They shadow. I was like, yo, what? And I learned. I guess they smacked me on the hand. Do not mix you. If you're going to keep that over there. And I'm like, okay, but I learned. See, that's what I meant by learning the devices of the serpent where you at and learn to manipulate. So now with this YouTube, I got to go another direction because this is going to blow up. Listen what I'm telling you. This little channel here, mark my words. I ain't never in my life spoke something that didn't come to pass. You know why? Because the creator, I am the creator. The creator is in me. I am the maker creator. You see, understand? So I understand from who I am, the Most High in me. So I am going to do whatever I got to do to make this. It will blow up because this word will this light will get through the darkness. So the darkness is going to spread darkness. That's why what you're speaking on. Absolutely. Now, let me ask you, let me get to some more. So now, you've been in jail, you've been in prison all together in your life. I guess you're saying if you add up all those bids, it adds up to about 15 years locked away from society.
Yes,
all right.
give or take, yes.
Now, in that amount of time, and I know it, I could bear witness because I know when you left, you was gone from early, and you've been in and out. You know what I mean? All your life. That's all I know. You know what I mean? That's one thing I am co-signing that I've seen my brother go in and out of prison all of our life. That's all I know is that be in and out. That's him. You know, and now, and a lot of my people where I'm from Nassau County, the #1 conviction rate of New York State for 50 years or something crazy that they convict us and give us time. So all we know, my people where I'm from in Nassau, they go to prison. They are heavy in prison. That's all. Like I said, when I was young, I need to go to prison. That's what I thought, I'm like, I need to go to prison. Literally, I'm like, I need that on my jacket. I'm official in these streets, but I'm missing that. I'm missing. That was the most important thing. Yeah, that was the most important card. I can handle it in the streets, but I ain't got this prison record. I ain't got that. All right.
I felt like I did something when I came home my first video. They had me feeling like I did, like I went to the army or something.
Yeah, like you was a king, right? Like, yeah, you had, and then it continues as you go back more and more. You get more and more official, right?
Then in the end, you find out it ain't worth nothing though.
It was worth. You literally lost a lot of your life.
Big time without the big time paper.
All right, so that goes into what I'm going to. In prison, because you've been in how many prisons? You've been in Comstock, you name that. You've been in where else you been?
The mediums, Green, Mohawk, Green, Mohawk, Oneida, Mid-State.
Okay.
Quite a few. Yeah, that's about what, 5 or 6, just to give it take.
Yeah, and you've been in.
Then the maxes, Attica, Auburn, Comstock, Greenhaven.
Okay.
Quite a few. Yeah.
Now, so that's behind the wall and stuff. Now, So in your prison bids during the 90s, that's the worst time. 80s, well, not the worst of them all, but the 80s, 90s, oh my goodness, the hell on earth. In your experiences, I know you've seen a lot of killing, a lot of violations, a lot of agony, a lot of pain, enough pain, like you said, that sometime I have you close that cell and you weep. But you saying what your point is, people, they don't explain that, they don't share that part. I did that on my channel. I shared when they was giving me life, and I don't see no end, and I'm realized I'm never gonna be able to, live life as a human being again. Like I cried, bro. I did, because I miss my baby boy. I miss my son.
That's real, bro. Like, come on, man. Them guys is fronting, man. Anybody that tell you he ain't shed a tear, Not one bit, not the first one, the third one, the fourth one. Not one time did reality sitting on you like, yo, this is not it right now. Like, yo, like my people need, my family need me. Anything could be going on right now. And look at me, I'm sitting here, I can't help at all. I mean, the truth really comes down from your conscience. Like your conscience really get at you, homie. You can get around everybody else, but when you in that cell by yourself in that 8x12 in that mirror, you can't dodge you. You can't dodge you. You can dodge the world, but you can't dodge you. You the one person you can't get away from.
So, they have stories in the prison channels where everybody talks about, uh, and this is one thing I like to point out because I try to instill a certain level of reverence, respect, and fear in the youth because I don't want them to go to prison because there's different things you don't. It's like a lucky card. It's not luck, right? It's fate. But I'm gonna just use the word luck in a way
Right.
because you got one person that could go into the prison and he can just get sent to this prison, this dorm, and this situation. Things just ain't too bad for the not that it's not bad, but then you got another person who go in and they immediately put them on the tier with a bunch of monsters or grapists or something,
And everything
right?
go wrong. Everything that can
Uh,
happen happens to them. Everything.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, huh? Everything that could go wrong goes wrong, like literally. And he didn't have he didn't have a call in getting that card. He didn't, the hand that was dealt. He had nothing to do with it. He just made a little mistake, or he was running with his crew or something. Now, they got this thing that the internet love about booty bandits. Those men who like to take men's manhood. Now, you being in all these prison institutions, I know you've had to see some of this thing, and I understand you got to mind your bit, but I know that. Can you give the advice to some of these youngsters like, yo, bro, you could be put in a situation where I don't care how tough you is, I don't care how big you is, I don't care how nothing you is. You even got COs who
Raping
who are
inmates.
thank you.
You got COs raping inmates. How about that? You talking about the inmates on inmates. How about officers that are gay and he like you and he likes you? Now what do you do? But before we get right there, let's back up and let's go here.
Mhm.
It's my belief, from my observation, that most guys that were messing around with homosexual men in prison, they were freaks in the street. They didn't come to jail and get turned out. They were already turned out. They just came to a place where it happens a little more than usual because there's men here that are weak and they're using these other men to simply satisfy, what I'm saying, the immediate needs. You know what I'm saying? They're treating him like a woman, but that's just in their world. That's their mentality. That's their thing. So my point is that these men didn't come to prison and get turned out. A lot of them were living that down low lifestyle before they came to prison. In the county, I've witnessed more iniquity in Nassau County than upstate. And what I mean by that is I was in B dorm and I used to wake up in the morning and then first soon as I open my eyes and I'm looking towards the guy across from me, his feet are towards my feet, but it's a walkway between us, but there's 4 feet over here. I'm looking at 4 feet. I see 4 feet. I see two sets of feet under this bed sheet across from me. Now I know it's one man to a bunk. But here it is. There's two men blatantly laying in this bed across from me. They know what time the guard walk. They know they got to get up by 5:30, 4 o'clock to get out of that bed, to get in his bed for the count. You know what I'm saying? 7 o'clock count, whatever. Boom. I mean, like, these people, they know this lifestyle. They live this lifestyle. This is not something that you come to the jail and all of a sudden, to be up by 5, or you know what time to play the shower because these men don't go in there at this time. This is the time where the guys that get down like this go in there and this is what happens. So you have to be involved. You have to be involved, bro, to like really be in that circle in prison. There is no accidental, there is no accidental occurrences. These things take time, they take thought, and most importantly, it take a desire. So I say that these men were gay before they came to prison. Just being boxed in and having these type of people right there in seclusion with them made it easy. That's all. It just made it easy for them to get their freak on. But they were freaking in
And
the town before they got to jail.
and how is there such thing up there that they got actual people who predators
I
that
mean,
prey on? Yeah,
they got this
that's
one. They got this one dude named Rozilla, man. Rozilla, they call him. I mean, I witnessed this man walk up, man, and grab this little white boy, man, and actually tongue kissed him. Meanwhile, his
oh
hand slid around his waist and went right inside his back pocket. You feel me? While kissing him. We're talking about in the middle of the yard. Everybody, I mean, these guys over here, they know about it. They waiting to see it happen. They laughing. It's funny to them because this is what Rod do. Rod size you up, and he ain't no little dude. Rod short, but he built like a rock. He built like a mountain. And they'll size up guys. There are guys that'll size guys up, and they'll try. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. There are guys up there that if you fall for the old school befriend me type of thing, and they see that you straight lame to this lifestyle, yeah, they'll try you. You know what I'm saying? There are men that'll try you, but you gotta really put yourself out there to be played like that. Like if a guy tell you he don't even know you, he ask you, yo, come to my cell, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me you new upstate. Well, let me run you down about the jail. You just not telling anybody that. You're not telling me that. You're not telling you, yo, come in my cell, have a seat, man. Let me give you the rundown about the jail. First of all, type person, me and you, homie, who are you to want to give a rundown? Did I ask for orientation or something, homie? What's your problem? What's on your mind? We ain't going for that. This guy, he just walks right into this guy's cell, sits on his bed. Every man know you don't sit on no man's bed. You sit on the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Only so it's little things like that that veterans know to look out for. And if yes.
all right, so there you go, Ha. Now we doing it. Now, Ha, you just spoke it because me and you, we from the street. Now, even though I didn't get to go to the prison like I wanted to when I was young, guess what, Ha? I had all my boys, y'all, well, wasn't you specific, but our boys who was coming home, they would tell me everything. So even though I never got there and I'm in the street doing my stuff, if I would have, if I would have got there early, I would have known what you just said. But what about those, Ha? See, what about these kids who don't, Ha?
Then they get abused. Know. They get abused.
So they go in there and they don't know nothing. They don't got nothing. And the person, like you said, the person say, hey, come here, man. Hey, don't wear those slop shoes. You're going to get what's the name on your feet. You can't go in there barefoot in the shop. You know what I'm talking about, huh? You need some slop shoes. Yeah, you hungry? Thank you. You hungry? Here, come here, man. No. And what they do, how they like, no, don't mess with none of them. You don't want to mess with them. Here, I got you. Come in, man. Come in my hut. Sit down. And how, like you said, they see him sit on the bed, so they already know. They know. They can tell you green.
He's not experienced.
They can tell that. It's predator. It's wolves. It's sheep among lions. Wolves.
The first thing they're gonna do is look for the DIN number. They're gonna look and see he got a 24 number. Oh, he's fresh. Unless he's a VOP with a new number. Mm-hmm. A violator of parole with a new bid. That's the only way he could be a veteran, but masquerading under the new bid number. So you could, if you don't know better, you thinking he a 24 number, but homie got an actual 90 something number, but he did a certain amount of time. He was home on parole. He violated the new bid.
But how you gonna know that from the way he moved?
Oh,
see what I mean? See, so they're gonna exactly. So they're reading energies. You know what I'm talking about, huh? So again, even though he got that 24 number, he gonna look at you like,
how he hit the swap thing, how he clean up his cue. See, the new dude, he don't know that they're gonna get the mop out of the room and clean, but the veteran, you could tell by how he move. He ain't asking nobody for nothing. He know where everything is at. That's your cue right there. He's not new.
Exactly. And then, so now they're reading all different parameters. Listen, young guys, we're saying it because this, you do not want to be in this situation.
And
Then it
everything is
goes
not
by,
said. And like Ross said,
thank you.
everything is not spoken. You have to be able to read body language and body
Mhm.
movements. You have to. If you cannot read what's not said, then you're lost in this environment until you learn. But trust me, you're gonna learn very fast how to read body languages, especially when it get quiet.
Mm. And you need to read it immediately. So
It's,
just to any youth who happen
it's
to
too
watch
much.
this even later.
It's
Yes,
too much. It's
even
too
later.
much, Ra. They don't want it, Ra. They better
I
listen to
know.
Uncle Ra. You
I
better
know.
pay attention to this video. Go back, listen to it again. The first time you don't really hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's all mind-boggling right now. But when you get a chance, sit down. If this is something that interests you, and do the knowledge to it and break it down. It's a lot of knowledge in this video that could possibly help you save somebody in your family's life, a younger person. You
Or
can
your
talk to
life.
them because there's a lot of knowledge here if it's used properly, if it's received properly. And I'd like to thank
Now,
Uncle Rob for the platform. Go ahead, Rob.
you're welcome, King. Now, uh, now the where I'm gonna get to. How do you explain um how, let me touch back on one thing and then I'm gonna move to this question. For everyone, I wanna speak to those who, because you can, let me explain how someone
Go
can
ahead, Rob. I'm right
also
here.
I got you. Someone also can find themselves in a situation by accident, right? So let's say I've seen this in jail. You were driving and it was raining and you got into a car accident. Now you didn't mean to kill nobody, and the car accident took a lady's life. The cops come over and they find a little blunt roach in your ashtray because your little brother smoked weed. You don't even smoke weed. But your little brother smoked weed. You always tell him about smoking in your car, your cousins or something. And there was a blunt, little clip of a blunt roach in your ashtray. You don't know it's there. It's in the ash. You don't even smoke, right? Now you didn't accidentally crash and it killed somebody. Now, you ain't got a lot of money. You can't get a superstar lawyer team and all this stuff. You go and you get railroaded.
Wow.
Now, yeah, huh? Now, your innocent life just end up going behind the wall. You're going to prison now. And you're going to an AMAX. You're not going to a medium. You're not going to a minimum. You're going where the killers, the murderers, the snakes, the lions, the bears, the great, everything is. And you're green. Again, some wisdom that comes from it. You want to watch. The reason why these channels are important, it ain't to glorify, as Ha said. It ain't to promote. It's to educate, enlighten, inspire, and prepare. Woe to those who don't prepare. Let me explain. You can't, man, life happens, bro. Stuff happens. And if you ain't prepared, you ain't got the wisdom to understand. This is why you got these people who get so victimized because they have zero knowledge on this subject. They walk into a lion's den and they have no idea how lions function. You
Rob giving
understand?
y'all tools right now. Uncle Rob giving y'all tools in life to learn and become a wiser person. You can't get this
Facts.
knowledge. You can't get this in Harvard. You can't get this from Hofstra. You can't get this from Cornell. You can't get this from none of the upscale colleges. You have to walk and breathe this to get this. You have to put your life on the line and survive to get this knowledge. This knowledge is priceless. You can't get this nowhere else but prison.
Facts. Now, guys, listen to me. For all the young brothers, sisters as well, sisters, it ain't as bad as the men. Only reason why it's not as bad, you get the time and all that, but understand, a woman's vagina is created to be entered. A men's, but the anus is created to be an exit. So it's a total, yes, a woman, you get the woman want to lick on you. They be having all that, right? Sometimes you can get the COs that could grape you, a man CO if you get in the wrong situation with a woman. But a woman's prison has nothing on a man's prison. So the warning is to the women too. But for the men, guys, that exit, your exit is something that once it gets violated, you'll never be the same from it. Now, what I mean by this is you didn't plan for this. You doing the right thing in life. You take care of your kids. You go to work every day, but a freak accident got you in a situation. If you don't have a channel like this to be able to learn what Hakeem is saying, to be able to learn what I'm telling you, these little tools of things of not receiving nothing from nobody. Nah, I'm good. Keeping your mouth shut and quiet. Even when you go, what did Hakeem say? When they incarcerate you, when you go to the precinct, say, no, I'm not saying nothing till my lawyer come here, because everything that you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. So no matter what you say, you could be in it tomorrow. Well, I didn't do anything. I was just driving. You were supposed to be quiet. What Hakeem is telling you is when they put you in the precinct, I don't care if it was a car accident or whatever, you're supposed to say, I have nothing to say to you. Not one thing until my lawyer comes. My representation, I plead the fifth. I don't read me my Miranda rights, and I have not. The Miranda rights says you have the right to what, Remain silent.
Now, you brothers think you're doing something right when you get down with a squad and you go out and you do something and then it goes wrong. And you think that because you in the precinct telling them that all I did was drive the car. Mike jumped out. Black went in with Mike. Tim went in. Do you know what you really just did? What you just did was give yourself a state bid because you put yourself at the scene of the crime, first of all. So when what you think you giving ain't enough, you gave them you first, idiot. Because all you had to do was keep your mouth shut. You think that by telling them, you think that by saying all you did was give me the burner, you think that you're not involved? You just put yourself there. If they got evidence on nobody else, they got evidence on you because you just sat there and verbally said out of your own mouth that I drove the car. I didn't go in. Well, you put yourself there. And whatever happens in the house, the driver of the car is just as responsible as the man in the house who actually pulled the trigger. Now, remember that. And it don't have to be a shooting. It could be any situation. If you drove the car and you think that you're going to go in there and tell on us and they're going to let you go, remember, you telling on yourself first, so you ain't going nowhere. If everybody else, if anybody got a shot, it won't be you, because you just said that you was there for a fact. Now they gotta prove that what you saying against me is fact. So I got a chance to walk out that door because a criminal against a criminal is truly inadmissible. But if I say out of my mouth, yo, I went in with Black and Black did this, I ain't have nothing to do with it. Black pulled it. I'm saying I was there. I'm an accomplice. Understand these terminologies, learn these words. If you don't do nothing else, there's a book. It's called The Jailhouse Manual. Get you a copy of that book. It's about $20. Order it. Go get it from Barnes and Nobles. Get that book. It's called The Jailhouse Prisoner's Manual. It will give you knowledge far beyond your understanding, but a little at a time, and you will consume it all. It's very helpful to the Black family to have somebody in the family that know a little bit about the law. In my day, we didn't play basketball all day long in the gym. There was a mandatory half-hour minimum towards my case, if not the whole 45 minutes trying to get out of prison. I see the young brothers come in jail today, and the first thing they do is run and grab the basketball. Homie, you fighting a homicide. Has it hit you yet that you may never see the streets again? No, it hasn't hit you yet. You're too young. Your youth right now, the endorphin in you right now is running through you so rapidly that you high. You haven't even understood what you're facing yet. On a natural high, your brain is so stimulated right now that you can't feel you're facing a homicide, because if you did, you got a legal aid and you on the basketball court with the damn pants hanging down off your backside with them dirty drawers and dirty long johns on. You ain't even got time to wash your long johns out. it goes to show in your outer appearance that what is it, your hygiene, your body ain't right, so your mind ain't right. Your outside reflect your inside. These young brothers today go in there and they want to play basketball all period long. Never once did I see them sign up for the law library. And I've been in the law library waiting to help anybody that needs it. But the younger brothers, they got this jail thing messed up. Y'all better wake up. You better pay attention, because if you get involved with the wrong things, one decision can affect you for the next 20 years of your life. One wrong decision can affect you 10 years from now. One wrong decision can affect you 5 years from now. Be careful of the decisions you make and who you run with. Go ahead, Rob. Add on.
Facts. So now we're gonna get ready to start closing out. I'm gonna ask you, I have some last questions so we can start to close out because I don't want it to go crazy long. Now, what Howard was pointing out, guys, he says, keep your mouth shut. He said, when you get into the precinct, everything you say, you gave yourself a case by opening your mouth. You gave them what they need to make a case. If you keep your mouth shut and everyone else keep their mouth shut, they don't have a case. Their job is to get you to speak so that they can create a case against you, you giving them. Now, that example you gave actually happened to me. I'm going to say the two people in the I ain't going to say the third person. For those who know, they know. It was me and Saquon. It was three of us. We got caught in the car. There was drugs. There was a gun. The one of the dudes had the gun. The gun was mine. Okay? He had it because he always wanted it. Hey, where we go? Yo, let me carry the gun. Let me carry the gun, right? He want to be, right? He want to carry the gun everywhere. So now, you know the story. Now when we get knocked, now you got the gun, right? So now, this was the deal. We get knocked. We in jail. We locked up. We all together, all three of us. They got us in 3 separate bullpens, but we can talk. So the thing was, all right, listen, everybody, we found the gun at the carnival. We found it. That's why, listen how all three of our fingerprints is going to be on that gun because we all held the gun at some point. You get what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, you know how I'm strategic. I ain't panicking. I'm thinking, right? So you got to think in a moment. So I'm like, listen, you got to think like they think. Their job is to lock you up. Their job is to. So I'm like, all right, this is the deal. We found the gun at the carnival because we was coming from a carnival, the big one at the Nassau Coliseum. They used to have that big carnival back in the day, right? This in the 90s, right? So I'm like, all right. So the story is, I'll be saving this for a 25 to life. It's okay. I'm gonna give a little bit of it. I should be saving this as a separate story. I'm gonna give a little bit. So the thing was, I'm saying, so this the deal. We found the gun was found at the carnival. The middle Saquon, you found it because I know that all of our fingerprints are on it. So we got to cover that, right? I'm thinking of a future if we got to go to trial or whatever, okay? I'm already thinking ahead. So I'm like, Saquon, you found it. Once you found it, he's like, yo, a gun. And you passed it to me.
Right. It makes sense.
Right. So you passed it. I'm like, yo, yeah, we young, right? So I'm like, yo, look at this, right? So now my fingerprints on it. So when I passed it, and then the other dude, I ain't gonna say his name, he like, yo, let me see. So we gave it to him. So once we gave it to him, he grabbed it, and then a fight broke out because that's what happened at the carnival. Y'all know, you know Hempstead, you know how the carnivals used to be. A fight broke out. So he took the gun and put it on his waistband, and then the whole carnival got shut down. We got in our car, which was my famous 98, and we peeled off with the rest of everybody. So we peeling off. We on Hempstead Turnpike. We get down, that one. We get down by Church's Chicken, and they pull us over. They pull my car over. Wow. So it's the whole strip. Now we in the car. I got drugs. I got mad rings on my finger.
Yep.
Right? So I start trying to take off some of the rings, like here. Because, you know, I'm like, here, you put on these rings so it don't look, they come up like, who are you, John Gotti? Right? So I'm like, all right. So then the other dude, he already had the gun. I got the drugs. I look at say like, yo, I'm like, you got drugs too? Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to stash my drugs. I'm like, but stash them if you can. You know what I mean? Stash them if you know, try to stash them in the car somewhere. Now I know that's gonna fall back on me, huh? Because it's my car. See, I already know, but I'm ready to take mine. You feel me?
Move, yeah.
Facts. That's a boss move, right? So I'm like, all right, stash them if you can, you know, whatever. So they come, they pull us out the car, all this. Now, we standing outside the car. It's one cop at first. He calling a backup. Everybody pulling over from the carnival. They stopping because they see my car. They're like, yo, they got riding them. You know, so it's a big thing going on. So here come, he calling backup. So I look at the dude with the gun and I'm like, yo, run, dude. Yeah. Like it's one dude. If you run, he ain't gonna chase you. We right there. Like, just go. And he's standing. I'm like, yo, run, dude. I'm like, yo, come on, bro, go. And I don't know what he doing, so he don't run, huh? So now the dude, now the backup come. Now here comes the other cops. They come up, so they start searching us, right? So now one is in the car, he's searching the car, and I'm looking at dude, and they go over to him and pull up his shirt, and it's a gun. So I'm like, whatever, right? So now they got him with the gun. Now they go in the car, they search the car. Once they found the gun, you know that changed everything, huh? You know, once they found the gun, it's over. So now they ripping the car apart, they found the drugs. Cool, whatever. So now we in there. So now we're like, all right, this is the deal. He got the gun. So now I'm telling him, this is the deal. We found the gun because everybody's fingerprint gonna be on the gun. The gun was on him. He got possession, right? So this the deal. We all found the gun at the carnival. Everybody's fingerprint is on it, everything. I got drugs I got charged with. Say said, I'm gonna take my drugs. This was Say said. He said, yo, Rod. He said, Rod, those are my drugs. I ain't gonna let you go. I said, but Say already said, nah, those was mine. I'm taking mine. So I'm like, well, you know, whatever. So now I got a drug charge. Say got a drug charge. He got a gun charge. Now we get to now we talking. It's like nobody say nothing. That's it. That's the story. If that's the story, we found the gun. All of us touched it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's
enough damage.
That's it.
That's it.
And we get there, and the lawyer comes. Now I hired him a lawyer. Right? Say said he already got a lawyer. I hired the other dude a lawyer. We get there. My lawyer come. He's talking everything. We talk. He says, so you know that the other dude. He said, you know, he blaming everything on you.
Wow. And you
said,
wow.
What? And he said, yeah. He down there telling them all that it's your gun, it's your drugs. And I said, no. He said, oh yes, he is. I'm like, come on. He said, no. He said, but say the other dude, he said, Saquon government name. He said, he got the same story you got. So he said, so what's the story? So of course I told him the same story. I don't care that I'm paying him for a lawyer. I don't trust you. You get what I'm saying, huh? So I'm like, I'm gonna still tell you. We found the gun. We found it at the thing. He said, well, this the deal. Your story and Saquon, he says, government name, your story is the same. He got the only outside story. So now everything he said, went against him. That's what you was just talking about.
Wow.
So I said, so what can we do? He said, we don't got to do nothing. He's done. He just did himself in.
Yeah.
Because y'all, as long as Saquon don't go with him and go against you, and that was it. So next thing you know, we go into court and say like, yo, this dude, he went and signed up. That's my first time ever hearing this, Hakeem, an affidavit. I had never knew what that was. He went and signed an affidavit. What's that, huh?
That's when somebody give a legal statement to the DA.
I didn't even know what that was. That was my first time ever hearing it.
That is a sworn statement by someone who was a part of the clique. And now he's turning. He's
I never knew what that was. The judge, my lawyer was like, he signed an affidavit. And then I'm like, affidavit? What is that? Yeah. He like, well, he signed that this and this, and it backfired.
He just became a worker, informant for the state. At that moment, he was then working with the state
against his own boy, and it backfired. So I did mine, Say did his, and he ended up doing more time and then
he hurt himself.
He hurt himself. And
y'all possibly could have beat it because from what it sounded like, not going off into the legal thing of it, but it sounded like They didn't even have probable cause for stopping y'all. So
They didn't.
if he had just held fast and kept his mouth shut, y'all probably would have beat that.
That's what the lawyer said. So the whole thing of why I was like, listen, if you
Illegal
just
search
shut
and
up and stay on code, that's it. This is it. One story, but that's what they do. They break them up. They put fear in this one. They turn you against you, divide and conquer. They turn them against one another. One starts telling a different story or such and such, and
They can
now
tell who's scared from the moment they separate the three of y'all. They can tell who's scared the moment they separate y'all. They can
and
tell.
that's
They talk to you. They get a sense of your vibration from you speaking. They listen to him. They weigh his vibration, and then they weigh the last person's vibration. And when they're done, they're gonna know exactly which one to target to put the pressure on. Because
and we
that was
blink.
gonna be from the gate. All he's gonna be talking about is what he didn't do, and he's gonna get, first thing gonna say is he in trouble? And then what can he do to go home? I gotta go home, and they
That
know right
famous
then.
line, I gotta go home.
And to keep them going, they ask you smoke. They're gonna give you everything to do. They're gonna give you everything to deal with your as far as your mouth is moving. They're gonna give you anything to keep your mouth moving. First, they give you the water. Drink the water, sip. Your mouth is moving. You're gonna say something. Then they offer you a sandwich. You eating. You know what I'm saying. Your mouth is moving. Every time they give you something to eat, they say a little more. They say a little more. And then before you know it, they done sat there and co-incriminated themselves while thinking they burying their co-defendants. All you did was definitely let them know that you was there, you partaked in it, and they got the right man as far as they concerned. What you saying about them, that don't weigh nothing. I'm being totally honest. It don't weigh nothing. And to make it a little clearer, why I say it don't mean nothing is because it still has to be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to the court. He's a criminal. He's going to say, well, he's being charged with a crime. So naturally, he's going to say whatever he can say to lessen his burden. So the DA know they really don't have a strong witness, but it's anybody that can say that they did something is good for now. Hoping it down the line, it'll get stronger. But from the gate, the DA honestly knows, and anybody with experience knows that, well, if all they have is my co-defendant, I'm really not messed up yet. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody with a clean record, not involved,
Right.
who come forward and say they
A
witnessed.
civilian, a
Right,
citizen.
exactly. So now, when we understand this, we fight the case with more energy, more aspiration. A lot of people don't understand this, but I try to teach anybody that'll listen. The police, it just makes me so mad, but I'm gonna get it out without stopping. Excuse me. It just makes me so mad because individuals act like the police was at the first round table meeting y'all had when the first thought of doing something came to play. People act like they knew everything. They know everything. They was down. They're forgetting that they're coming onto a scene asking questions. So if you asking me anything, that's my first indication that you
That you
don't
don't
know
know. You don't know.
nothing. So now tell me where the pressure come enough for me to blatantly start telling on me.
Facts.
Yo, this man just asked me what happened, and then I'm gonna turn around and tell you something, if anything, that I did or somebody else did when you sit here asking me what happened. Yo,
Because you know nothing.
I don't get these brothers today. That man just asked you what happened. Why in the world would you say anything about anything? Man, let me go or give me my lawyer. Let me go
Facts.
or get my lawyer. That's it. That's all you say. We already explained to these young people that by trying to lie, all you do is lead them to people that are real. And when you lead them to people that are
Facts.
real, that know you, they don't know about the situation, but they can surely say, well, he hangs with Billy Bob. He also hangs with Jack, and he hangs with Tim. So, as we explained earlier, when they begin to find these people, no, they can't tell them about the situation, but they can damn sure, excuse me, tell them about the truth that they do know, which is who you really hang with. now they're on to something. Because when they shake the tree along the line of the people you do know, somebody's going to mess around and say something that's going to lead them even closer. So my point being, your lie actually, in the long run, turns to all truth.
Facts. Yo, Ha, now I got these last 3 questions and then we can
Yeah,
close out.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
glad that you point that out because now I can explain because I don't want people to be misunderstood.
Go ahead, Rob. Phil.
When I was saying that I told all 3 of us to have our story to say that we found the gun, that was to tell our lawyer a story. Let me explain. Let me explain. I'm glad you brought that out because I when I heard you, I'm like, oh, they might think I was saying that we are supposed to say this to the police. No, he's getting a lawyer. I'm getting a lawyer. Say gonna have a lawyer. We need a story to tell the lawyer, and it needs to be the same story. Do y'all hear me? This is when you get co-defendants. That's why co-defendants is the worst thing you can ever have. If you're gonna do something, you better do it by yourself, by your Delpha Dolo, and because only you can snitch on you. Co-defendants is a rap, and they know that. The system know it. They're gonna break somebody. I don't care how tough they talk. People talk all that gang, tough. When they talk about 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, they snitching on their mama. I know it. I've been there. I took mine. You heard? I ain't snitch on nothing. You heard? Now listen, the cold D's are the worst thing you could ever have in life. Now what I was doing, guys, I'm glad you brought that out. Don't get it. I wasn't talking to no doggone police. I was saying this is what we need to tell our lawyers because our lawyer needs, all 3 of them lawyers need to be on the same bandwidth. They need to have the same exact story, and that gives them the point to fight. If they got the same story, then the system, they won't have no wins. They won't have no case. This case will be beaten. It will be thrown out. They will be able to beat this. But if one of these lawyers got a different story, if one of y'all tell another lawyer, well, it was his, now you just destroyed your chances.
I must drop this, and then I'm gonna let you. I must drop this.
Go ahead.
Please. Keep it short. Officers understand that we know nothing and that if one of us doesn't crack, they have no case. My point being is this right here. Damn, it kind of twisted trying to get your attention. It was about them telling on themselves, thinking they getting away. All right, here we go. Excuse me, I'm trying to get it right. All right, here we go. Individuals believe that the DA or the officer, individuals believe that the police have the power to talk to them and work a deal out in that office. This is for the young that don't know. They can't do it. They don't have the authority to do it. They can lie to you. They can use trickery. They can do whatever they have to do to get you to incriminate yourself. So when individuals ask me, oh, the officer said this, can you get me this? Can you get me that? No, he's not doing it. He can't do it. The DA is the only person outside of a courtroom that can make a deal with you, but it must be in black and white. It must be in black and white. It must have the seal, have the eagle seal, and boom, now you in business. But as far as him telling people, yo, if you take this 3 to 6 right now, we can cover you. I got you. We can teach you how to begin to move. But I can see some people are going to learn the hard way, and it's going to take a lot of people down with them, and that's so sad. It's sad, but to close it out, I mean, my best advice to the people out there right now that have not made the mistake and walk into this type of lifestyle, stay who you are. Stay civilianed up, because loyalty is far and in between right now. To find somebody loyal that's willing to sit and put his testicles in a vice and take take your testicles out there as device and put his in. No man gonna do. He's gonna have to. Excuse me. There are men, but they're gonna. You have to have an extensive history, and loyalty will have to have been shown in the past for somebody to step up and take a bid for you. You know what I'm saying? You would have to have been really, really sincere with a friend, like really sincere. Now, if you can't argue with somebody today and tomorrow y'all dab, I'm talking about just arguing. You know what I'm saying? If you can't argue with somebody and then tomorrow y'all clean it up, then he was never your friend, or he was never your comrade. I like to use the phrase comrade today more than friend or any other word. That's just how I stand to present myself to these people. And
I got.
yeah,
I want your last question.
yeah,
How? All right. Did peer pressure ever cause you to return back to prison again and again?
yes, yes, it did. Yes, it did. Because I wanted to be down so bad. I wanted to be accepted so bad that I didn't even I didn't even calculate. Yo, you just did 4.5 joints. You really gonna take another presentation? They ain't care. They said, man, I don't care. Straight up, just like that. I don't care. I'm like, damn. He just say what I think he said. I don't care. All right, y'all go ahead and y'all go ahead and dice it up and don't care. But me, peer pressure had a lot to do with it. It had a lot to do with it, and yeah, peer pressure is the reason I went to prison, because not having a father and wanting to be down uh, gave me what I needed to go ahead and do something that I knew I really didn't want to be down with. But to be down, I closed my eyes and I did it, and regretted it every night. The first day bit, I might have cried every out of a week. The first day bit, I might have cried at least 2 times. Out of the 2 times, I cried every week. Like I might have cried Monday, then I might have cried again Friday or Thursday. Then I might have cried. Oh man, I'm telling you, yeah, peer pressure had a lot to do with it. Yes, yeah, I'm man enough to say I'm man enough, because I
So
was scared and I wanted to be down with somebody in the beginning. I didn't click up, I didn't gang up, but I had a workout partner, so to be. Then I had a cooking partner, so to be. So yes, to be straight up, absolutely. Hell yeah.
so
Commissary
how?
time come around, you want to be able to get in the shower and come back out. Yeah, you better let peer pressure help you make some decisions, because you come out of there one shower night and your whole $55 buy gone. I'm talking about 6 pack of Sprite, case of Jack Mac, case of box of Carolina. I'm talking about, man, they done took some serious food. I ain't talking about no Kit Kat. I ain't talking about no Snicker. I'm talking about dinner, food, solid food. And then you smell them cooking your food and you can't say nothing, because you know he run with like 6 dudes, but the clique is really like 30, 40 deep. But like they run with like this quick 6 right here. They always, yeah, hell yeah, you better size, yeah, you better, how you say, equalize it up. Yeah, you better equalize it up. That means
Word.
breaking off. That means breaking off a piece of steel or something.
Mm-hmm.
Going in that shower with a cement floor. Find you a corner. Find you a corner of that cement, and bring a tip to that piece of steel, like it came out of Bed Bath and Beyond. Word. Night look like the tip looked like it came out of Bed Bath and Beyond. That tip so sharp and shiny. Word. Everything else is rusty, dirty, spider webs. But guess what? The tip of that thing looks brand new. You hear me? Brand new. Everything else rusty, spider webs, you name it, it's on there. And check where they hide it at. Nah, you ain't gonna guess. I give you two shots real quick. Come on, where you think they hide them at? And it's in the cell. I gave you too much of a hint, but come on, real quick. Where you think it's at?
You talking about me or you talking to
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah, Rob. Real quick. Where you think it's at?
Some
Where
of
you
the
think they
hiding
hide it at?
places inside of
Huh?
the mattress,
In the
inside of the
cell.
mattress.
No, in the cell. You got one
In
more
this,
shot. Go ahead. You got one more
uh,
shot.
Uh, in the toilet.
Yes, yes. You know how you know the county sinks how the top connect to the bottom, right? So the drain, remember the drain, the water got a drain. So where? So that line, that drain line from the sink, there's a little there's a little line up in the inside corner for the water to drain out of the sink. Like if you brush your teeth, it got a little hole on the side, and that hole runs down to the toilet. So you put a little piece of string on the tip of your ice pick, and you slide it up in it. You know how much germs, and then you
I
stabbing
know.
somebody with it.
And then you stab somebody in their
Yo,
body inside.
yo, forget about the stabbing. What about the germs he hit you with? I'm talking about that thing is submerged in feces, urine, old feces, old urine, vomit, and somebody, and then they sticking this up in you. Yo, what? Man, if you don't get to a doctor quick, you gonna have disease. The stab wound you ain't worried about. It's the diseases he might be injecting you with. You hear me? The rust. Oh my God. You be like, yo, whatever you do, shoot me. Don't stab me with that again. Word, word. That thing done sat in everything for years. I don't know how
That's a
long.
That's a great closing story. That was a great closing story. Let me do a little bit for him, just a little adnoc. I know some people don't understand his lingo.
Right,
So he
right.
was saying that somebody, he's saying Jack Mac, that's Jack Mac with the food. He said, you in the cell and they take all your food, right? And not just Snickers and candy bars and cookies, but the food that you're going to need to eat to survive. They took all your food. He said it was 5 or 6 dudes, they big dudes, and you know they run together and you by yourself.
Come on,
But
man.
you know, outside of them, they run really 30 deep. It's a real clique of them. But this 6 right here, they tight as thieves and they right there. So you really ain't got no win. So he
Right.
said, what you better do is what I spoke of earlier. You better have an equalizer, meaning you
Right.
better go make you a shank, a knife, a handmade type of weapon
Absolutely.
that can
Absolutely.
equalize you going against these 4 dudes. You understand? So, because you're going to have to stand for yourself. Otherwise,
Oh
everything
man.
is going to be taken
What?
from you
What?
forever, your whole bid. If you don't stand for something, you will never have nothing else, your whole entire bid. Everybody, because the word will pass around that you don't
That
stand for yours, right?
that
So
will
they're
be the
going to be taking
beginning.
things. Yes. So now he
That will
said,
be the
he's,
beginning of you being very hungry, a hunger that you ain't never experienced again. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If the younger people are giving me the undivided attention, I'm telling you, your greatest threat is when she no longer is visiting, and I gotta start carrying him up 4 flights of stairs, and she does it. And I only do it because it's 3 of us in here. Now
uh,
what? You know,
ha,
go ahead,
hold
God.
on.
Yeah, she don't. Go
Let
ahead.
me let me finish this so I
Yes,
can close you out with it because
yes.
I'm going to finish so they can understand what you said. But I'm gonna mute you for a second because your background noise is people keep saying it's making background noise. So I'm gonna mute you for just 1 second while I explain
Yes.
this. Hold on. There we go. So what he said was he said, once that situation, you better find an equalizer. He's saying you better go and make you find. He said you go to the shower. Listen, guys, he said you go to a shower and you look in the corner of the shower, there's cement, right? Cement floors, and there's an area that's kind of jagged. You take whatever it is you can find. I don't care if it's a toothbrush, whatever thing you can find that you need to sharpen, and you need to work on that and sharpen till you get a point. He said, till you make whatever thing you got, it has a point that's so shiny that it looked like it was a knife sold out of Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm translating what he said for those who don't understand this lingo, this New York City lingo, right? He said, you sharpen this thing till it look like it's a knife that they bought out of Bed Bath and Beyond, and you keep on sharpening and you strengthen it and you reinforce it and you build that thing till you got a weapon that you can hold on to, and you can use this thing because your manhood depends on this. Your whole bid, your whole existence in this whole time you're going to be in these prisons depend on this action right here. And you about to go against 4 or 5 big dudes who might be killers themselves, but you need to stand. He says, so you sharpen that thing and sharpen it to the point and you go stand for yours.
Man, you
Now,
almost made me slam this phone. I swear. You almost made me. Yo, what you said was so real. It vibrated through me, man, and I wanted to slam this phone. But she looking at me like I
Facts.
would slam that joint.
Because that real. I know what
Yo,
you say. I know what you
yo,
feeling. How that real. Now, hold on. Let me get the last part. What he said. He said. So he said, "Hey, where do you think you hide once you make this banger? You make this weapon. Now you gotta hide it, guys, in your cell because if the police find it, you're gonna get a new charge, right? And they're gonna
let's
take
go.
it. So,
Let's
so,
go.
so, so you need this. You don't. First of all, forget the new charge. You need this weapon. You like, listen,
Bottom
I don't
line.
want them to take it because I need this weapon. This is my
Bottom
lifeblood right
line.
here. So he said, where are you gonna hide it at, Rod? Let me see. He was testing me. So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I know people used to hide it in the mattress, but they usually
Right.
find those. That's an old hiding place, the
Yes,
mattress,
bro.
right? So I said, the mattress. He like, nope. And then I start to think, okay, let me think like prison now. That's jail thing. Let
Right
me
to
think
it.
like prison.
Bingo.
I'm like, that's why I
Bingo.
said the toilet. I already
Bingo.
know. I know where he go. He's like, bingo.
Bingo.
And now he gave you the straight. He said, in the line of the toilet, that the sink is attached to the toilet and everything, you hide your ice pick or your dagger in that line. And he said, when it's in that line, it's full of feces and urine and throw up and bacteria and E. coli and
Well,
Ebola.
you got me back here
You got,
shooting. You
you,
got me shooting jabs. Yo, you got me open. I'm shooting jabs, combos. You got me kidding.
way to close out the live, huh? So
Man, you
listen,
got
guys.
me kidding it. And I'm
He
not
said,
playing with you. I'm not you got me standing here in full motion.
he
Full
said, listen,
motion.
guys. He said, now you got that person that's coming at you. They coming and they ready to stab you with this knife, this banger, this ice pick, this axe, whatever it is, this thing, and they stabbing you in your body with all type of diseases. He said, listen, he said, it ain't the knife going into your stomach, your side, your flesh, your chest, your arms as you're trying to block them stabbing into your face and your head that they're trying to stab you. It's the diseases on the knife. It's like, forget the knife. What diseases are you putting in my body? What kind of, and what kind? And he said, as they stab you, he said, get me to a doctor. He said, I'd rather you shoot me with a gun than be stabbing me with this death knife, this disease knife from hell. All right?
You understood exactly what I was saying. You
I
didn't
know.
miss one word. You said exactly how I felt about it, and that's it. It's so real. It's so real. You got me. The phone is in my face. I got the phone so close to my nose, it ain't even funny. I can't even see. Yo, the phone is so close, I can't even see you right now because I'm so hyped up. And I don't mean that to be playing with it or nothing right now.
I know you serious.
Man,
You lived it, huh?
if you said right now that's him, I don't have one question. It's all ankles. It's all ankles and fists. I swear. For you,
All right, huh?
yo, go ahead, go ahead. You got me,
I got a
Bobby.
question. These are the last two.
You got me
If
standing
can
here,
you
Bob.
explain to the people, the oldest, the young,
Yes,
everyone,
yes, Bob.
the civilians, those still in the life, everybody? Is there anything? Could you sum up anything that you might have learned from being up north? If you could sum up your whole experience,
Yes,
what
yes,
did you learn from it?
yes. I'm gonna try to keep it very to the point. The first thing that I believe I learned, the first thing I believe I learned is that, oh boy, this is hard. Oh, that's hard. Damn, that's hard, baby. Because this reflects everything that I spoke on now. Um, wow, that's deep. I had to sit down for a second. This ain't just throw no answer type question. Okay, anything that I feel was applicable, knowledgeable, worth speaking on. Okay. Oh man. Well, guess what? You ready for this one? Here we go. This is how it go. Rob, Uncle Rob,
Yep,
Rob.
I'm
Okay, I'm
here.
sorry. I'm sorry. I took a little moment, but I needed that because you're not asking no everyday run of the mill questions. Your questions are good questions, and I have to take a second. So pardon me. Here I come. Um, Rob, help me, please, one time. Just a question, one more time, please.
If you
Just
could
a
sum up,
question.
if you could sum up all your experiences of being up north, what would you say that you learned from being up there? What did you learn from it?
Right. What I learned is that it's very dangerous. First and foremost, it's very dangerous. I don't even want to go another second without saying that first. It's very dangerous, bro. It's very dangerous because because it's a hell of a responsibility. If living in the street is anything, then to exist and carry your responsibilities into the town is triple the responsibility. Nah, hell no. Hell no. To have to protect somebody out here, I mean, it's nothing to compare to protecting them in there. Oh my God, forget about it. You lose your mind because you have to be triple on point. Remember, it's not just you. It's not just you protecting no more. It's you and her. So you got her and you that we have to protect. So the answer from my end was straight up and down. Nah, no, hell no. Gotta be one right here. One second. I want to show you something. I had two, but man, all right, tomorrow I have to find it for tomorrow. But your questions are good. You have good questions, and it was an honor to be on your platform sharing my knowledge with with women. And this is why I came with that approach. But
It's okay, huh?
your
My
situation is unique. That's
my
what.
last
Yes, go
huh,
ahead.
my last question. How
Yes.
long have you been free?
I have been free now approximately close to close to 18, 19. And she's pleased with that.
It's
She
kind of low, huh? Huh? Could you put it to your mouth? You
Oh,
said you've
sorry.
been.
I'm sorry. Yo, you right. You got me throwing my
There
hands
you
in
go.
a circle. Yo,
Now I can
you
hear
got.
you.
I'm throwing my hands in a circle. You got me tight right now.
It's
And I
okay. We're in the
need,
last question. Then you can
and
go
I
relax with
need.
your wife.
Go ahead, God, Bill.
One more time. How long
Yeah.
have you been free now?
Um. Um. At least. Now it's born. Now it's born, or no, it's not. Yeah, it's like now it's gone, or now it's born. Yep.
At least 17 to 19 years,
Yeah.
guys.
Free
That's
now.
what that means.
Free
17. So
now.
you've been free for 17 to 19 years.
Yes, sir. That is correct. That is correct.
All praise. So you've been free for almost the full amount of time that you was in prison throughout your life.
Yes.
And
I
so
say yes.
now, basically, you got another chance to live out the end of your life and be around your family and your kids as much as you can, and to also be a part of of a movement to awaken the children so they don't go down the same path that we went down. So they don't.
That's
Mhm.
exactly what my goal is. You said it. You said it. You said it exactly how I felt, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep on doing it. As long as I stay out of the stores, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yes.
Once I tell the stores what I got to say, go ahead and shop. It's no problem. No problem.
Ah,
Whoa. Whoa. Go ahead, dog. Yep.
so ha.
I stayed away
Now,
from people. Go ahead.
go ahead. You stay away from. That's the way that you stay home. Stay
Yeah, I
away
stayed away.
from. Hmm.
I did my best. I tried. I had a couple people threw me a little something on the road, but she said, "Nah, I'm okay. I'm okay." So, all right. Not in a vindictive. No, but like, okay, I understand. I understand. Recovery itself is very,
So us
yeah.
as elders, us as elders for the end of our life, our duty is to teach the experience. You know how experience is the best knower. So the experiences that we got to live on this life, our duty is to tell those experiences so that someone else can learn from the mistakes that we made that might can help save them from making the same mistakes. So I thank you for trying, taking this time to speak to the youth, to speak to the world, to speak to others, to try to stop them from making the same mistakes that we made. You want to say something as you close out? Your
I
last
want
words,
to
huh?
say, I want to say that I love you and I love your movement. Thank you for sharing your platform with me so that I may reach out and in turn share my experiences and pray that someone else has an up and coming movement and they're doing everything they can to try and help our people. That's it. That's exactly what I wanted to do, wanted to share for a long time. But when you take the platform and you allow me to share my goals, I got nothing but love for you. Nothing but
Thank
love.
you.
Straight up. Okay, brother Rob?
Yes, sir, King. All right,
From
I
my
love his love.
family. Yeah, yeah, from my family and all the God that in earth that's been through a lot of perfume gonna be in the air tomorrow. Yes, they're gonna be like, who is this? Get it, get it, get it. Get it.
All right, huh? Love is love, King.
Yes,
It was
yes,
great. It was great building with you, huh? You know,
yes.
you my brother, and we started off as little kids. It's so funny that when we started as little boys, 7, 8 years old, now 40 years later or something,
Okay,
we
nah, they
we
ain't gotta know.
together we together now trying to teach from our mistakes and our
That's
errors,
right. That's
and we're
right.
trying to give back. That's what it's about.
And they ain't gotta know our age.
Facts. And thank you for being there to be able to speak a word so others can maybe learn from our errors and mistakes. Love you, huh? Stay
Thank
up,
you,
King.
God. I love you too. Peace to my brother.
Blessings to your queen. May
Yes,
blessings to your
yes,
family, your children. All right. Love
yes,
you, huh?
yes.
Thank you, King.
Peace to God. I'll
Hempstead,
be in touch.
Strong Island. Shout out to
Strong out.
Midway, Grove
Yes,
Street, all
yes,
that,
yes.
Cornell, the Heights.
We got
Shout
you.
out.
We got
All right.
you. All right.
Love you,
I'll
huh?
be in touch. Peace.
Peace. All right, guys. So, um, Hakiyama wrote Ecclesiasticus 34:9. A man, a man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare his wisdom. Okay? Romans 5:3. And not only so, but we glory in our tribulations also, trials and tribulations, knowing that tribulations, the things you go through, the experiences worketh patience, and patience worketh experience, and experience gives hope. All right. Now, Abiyah said, thank you for sharing your story and thoughts with us, Brother Ha. Blessings. Who that was Delaware Shah said 1, 2. Thank you everyone for joining Testimony TV and his guest Hakeem Allah. Thank you for coming. Much love, respect. All right, guys. Now y'all already know, So I got a lot of bits and pieces that I can chop up from that and make little clips as well. But y'all already know the moral of the story, man. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. A wise man learns from his own mistakes. A wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. So we are to impart our wisdom from the mistakes that we made. Hopefully, some of these with wisdom will learn from our mistakes and not make them. That's what it's called to be about. Uncle Yahshua, 25 to Life, Testimony TV, another one down. Y'all know what it is. You know, keep it functional, the Most High. We come with the positiveness to try to bust that darkness right in.
Bossy, you know what it is.
We come with that positive to try to bust the darkness right in its head.
Bossy, you know what it is.
All right, y'all already know what it is. 25 to Life. I see y'all tomorrow on the Tuesday Bible study. Everybody else, I see y'all Wednesday. We live again on YouTube on the Q&A. And then Friday, we live again on YouTube. We live Wednesday, Friday, and Monday on YouTube. All right. Thank you for everybody who joined us. Thank you for having the patience at the beginning as Hakeem figured out a way to come in for the study. I love y'all all. Y'all already know. Y'all got to keep it functional. Keep it. Love the Most High, y'all. Another one down. We out. I love y'all all. See y'all on Wednesday for the live. We out.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha cause I like to tuck that choochie. All the time on the grind, getting that doochie. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the Ghetto, the dark side, strong, the wrong, I think I'm supposed to burn.